Hello? Hello. We streaming. Hopefully we streaming. My internet's being weird, so we'll see how long this goes for. If my internet wants to cooperate anyway. I'm gonna put this on for a second because I'm gonna yell. It seems really loud. I did say muted. I feel like there are words I wanted to say and I don't remember what they were. Gonna finish making Mothman. I haven't done anything since the last stream, so he's still just a little ball with two little itty bitty legs. So I should have set my book up before, but I didn't think about it. Where are we? Okay, we have to make the arms. And then we're on to the next page. Oh, please work for me. Okay. Trying to make it. You guys can see, okay? It seems like anyway. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Okay. Most extreme. For the most extreme, the next episode that we're on is Lovers, and I'm not entirely sure if we can watch it. Just because we're on Twitch. So, I think we're going to skip it because I don't want to potentially get banned because they show something weird. So we're just gonna go straight to the moms.
Some moms are pretty cool. But it's not all love and kisses when you're dealing with Mother Nature.
I think that's the best decision. Okay.
We're counting down the top 10
To move my
most
coasters
extreme
around.
moms in the animal kingdom, and comparing them to our own maternal instincts. Stand by for the mother of all programs.
Do I have my counter up?
To the most extreme.
I'm not ready. I thought I was ready. I'm not ready apparently.
Earth is
Okay.
a planet
Counter
of extremes.
up. Phone's gonna go.
Extreme places.
It's my lap, I guess. I don't know.
And extreme.
And then we're gonna make his arms
But some animals are more
because he
extreme
needs
than others.
arms.
Join us as we count down to find the most unusual and the most extraordinary.
What is
On
in
the
front of me?
most extreme.
Okay.
Kicking off the countdown is one big mother. The elephant is an extreme mom. An extremely big mom. She's number 10 in the countdown because no other land animal gives birth to a bigger baby. How would you like to be pregnant for a record 22 months?
Oh,
That's
thank
an
you.
awful lot of morning sickness.
Do you think
After
elephants get
that,
morning
even the
sickness?
thought of delivering a 90-kilogram baby wouldn't seem so bad. Mind
Right.
you, humans can produce some jumbo-sized babies as well. Back in 1933, this mammoth child made headlines in Australia.
And how old is the little darling? 9 months. And what does a little mite
Oh
weigh?
no, naked baby.
68 pounds.
What?
Both
You're
the same
joking.
age, but the gentleman on the right is exactly 4 times heavier.
But the biggest baby
What?
in history was born to the stars of a traveling circus. Anna Swan Buren was one big mama. Standing over 2.4 meters tall, she was 5 centimeters taller than her giant husband.
I don't know
So
how
it's
big
no
that is.
wonder that in 1879, this elephantine couple produced a son who weighed in at an eye-watering 10.8 kilograms.
I don't know how much that
The
is.
biggest baby on Earth was born the size of an average 6-month-old child. The trouble was, there were no forceps large enough to deliver such a giant baby, and sadly, he only lived 11 hours.
What?
But even the average American baby is enormous if you compare the body weight of their mothers. When an elephant weighing about 3,500 kilograms gives birth to a 90-kilogram baby, it's about 1/40th of her body weight. Compare that to when a 60-kilogram woman gives birth to a 3-kilogram baby. Since that's actually 1/20th of her body weight,
This a little bit.
human
There we go.
baby is, relatively speaking, twice the size of a newborn elephant, which only confirms what every human mom has always suspected.
Which is, I'm having issues getting comfortable right now.
But even if proportionately elephants don't have the biggest babies in the world, these moms are still extreme.
And then okay. Also, his arms are smaller than his feet.
That's
that
because
makes sense.
in elephant families, it's a case of mother knows best. In this matriarchal society, the most extreme mom is actually a grandmother. The herd is made up of her daughters and granddaughters. All the males are forced out at an early age, staying single or joining bachelor groups. With so many mothers in the herd, it's no wonder that baby elephants are constantly showered with affection. So spare a thought for the baby of our next contender, for there's one extreme mom that spends up to 90% of her life asleep. The trees of the Australian outback are home to number 9 in our countdown of most extreme moms. For when it comes to devotion, there's one animal that scales new heights. It's the koala. She may spend up to 22 hours each day sleeping, but this is one mother who will go to extreme lengths to look after her baby.
Oh, well, that was kind of spooky. What the hell? Why would they show us this? This is terrible.
But it's not her climbing ability that makes the koala number 9 in the countdown. It's her extreme digestion
that's terrible.
that
Why would
really
you do that?
safeguards her baby.
Okay.
The koala is one of the pickiest eaters in the world. It only eats the highly poisonous leaves of eucalyptus trees. It manages to survive on this deadly diet
I'm very confused.
thanks
What's
to
going
a
on with my
digestive
stitches here?
system packed
Okay,
with special bacteria that detoxify the leaves. Koala babies are not born with the bacteria, so koala moms have to pass the bugs on. And they do that by making a tasty treat of bacteria-filled droppings.
Ew. That's gross.
A koala baby may look sweet, but it's got a real potty mouth. No wonder some moms have trouble getting kids to eat their greens.
These are not funny puns.
Life would be so much easier if we could understand what our babies were trying to tell us. And that's why here in Washington, D.C., these babies have gone to school. They're learning to talk, not with their voices, but their hands. Some of these babies are only 9 months old, and yet they're learning how to communicate with their mothers, thanks to a program called Signing with Kids, run by co-founder Tegan
we kind of,
Corradino.
my mom kind of taught us a bit of sign language when we were kids so that we could communicate with her better.
American Sign Language. For example, if we teach them to use more instead of waiting until they can articulate more, and the benefit is it eases frustration for everybody.
She taught us like
It's a shame that
milk,
koala bear
water,
babies haven't learned sign language.
eat,
Then they'd be
please
able
and
to
thank
communicate
you.
just how much they love feeding on their mother's droppings. We've delivered the countdown's first 2 contenders, but coming up, there'll be no hiding from moms that just have so many children they just don't know what to do. That's next on the most extreme.
a most extreme. Oh,
Be warned, playing with the next contender in our countdown of extreme moms can be bad for your health.
does that work? That works, okay. It does not work, okay. Awesome.
Fighting her way into
I would
number
love for
8
it to
in the
work.
countdown is the alligator. She's definitely deadly, especially when she's near the compost heap she likes to call a nest.
Why would you
It's
call it a
easy to
compost
believe
heap?
she
That's
has
just
no
rude.
maternal instincts at all, especially when her babies end up between those massive teeth.
The book is upsetting
At first
me. Okay,
glance,
there
a
we
pile
go.
of rotting vegetation may seem like a poor excuse for a
Ugh,
nest.
everything
but
seems
it's
like
this
really
decaying
messy.
compost that creates enough heat to incubate
Okay.
alligator eggs.
There's just lots of strings
This
everywhere so that I can
extreme
sew
mom
things
doesn't
up.
have to touch her eggs for 2 months. The only trouble is, she makes quite sure that nobody else touches them either.
Okay. What was I doing?
So for these researchers, checking the temperature of the eggs is a risky business. They know that if the temperature in the nest is less than 31 degrees, all the eggs will be females. If it's above 33 degrees, they'll all be males.
Which is crazy.
For
That
these
reptiles work
conservation
like that.
biologists, life would be so much easier if finding out the sex of the babies was as simple as getting a sonogram. A medical
I want to put
probe
my
emitting high-frequency
elbow
sound
on my
waves
desk,
creates
but
sound
my
pictures
yarn
of
is
an
in the
unborn
way.
baby.
That kind of
But
works.
thanks to new sonogram technology, it's now possible
But it's
to
still
get
in
a
my way.
three-dimensional womb with a view.
I'm sorry.
Using special 3D ultrasound, Chicago's Dr. Jason
Let's change how I'm
Bernholz can
sitting.
paint a picture not
There's a bunch of
only
yarn
of
in
an
my lap.
unborn baby, but even the details of the child's face.
Oh,
It's
you know what?
extreme
I think we got one of
technology
those
that
from
may
my
just
sister
prove to be a lifesaver.
We want
when
to know,
when my mom was
is
pregnant with my
a fetus
sister.
healthy or sick? This is the primary question in obstetrics.
Yeah, I think we have
So
one of
come
those.
to
She looks
looking
like
at the face
lasagna.
Because it's, after all, an organ of communication. And what we want to know is, can you identify somebody who's telling you that they are happy and serene in their environment, or that in some ways it is an inadequate environment and they are troubled? If they're sick or distressed, you want to get them out as soon as possible. They'll do better in the outside world than they will inside.
Alligator mothers also use sound to find out if her babies are ready for the outside world. When she hears muffled cries coming from inside the compost heap, it's time to start digging.
Aw, look how cute.
The alligator is number 8 in the countdown because she's not eating her babies. She's carefully carrying them to safety in an armor-plated mouth. this extreme mom is actually the world's biggest bodyguard. Who said you have to have warm blood to be warm-hearted? When it comes to motherly love, there's no doubt that baby alligators are sitting pretty. So far, we've seen gator moms getting a real mouthful, and koala moms getting a little rest. But you'll be getting a whole lot more, because coming up is a mom with a baby that's unbearably cute. That's next on the most extreme.
Bum, bum, bum.
Number 7 in our countdown of most extreme moms lives in a most extreme environment.
A polar bear? Yeah.
It's the polar bear, an extreme mom in more ways than one.
Go in. I have the hiccups, goddammit.
Just getting pregnant can be difficult because polar bears are loners. Even finding a mate can be tricky. One male was recorded tracking a female's paw prints for more than 100 kilometers.
That's crazy. Need me a man like that.
But a male polar bear is only after one thing. Once he's mated, the female's left all on her own.
Well, I don't
And her
want
hard
that,
work has
actually.
just begun.
I just want the chasing me for
She's number
100
7 in the
kilometers.
countdown because she has to find enough food to almost double her weight. If she doesn't put on at least 180 kilos of fat, her body will simply reabsorb the fetus. All that
That's
extra
crazy, I
weight
didn't
is
know that.
essential because she won't eat again for over 2 months.
Oh my
When the
god,
Arctic winter
Zara!
arrives,
Thank you for
she
the raid! Oh my god. Okay, hold on. The Bernie's here. Hi, Bernie. Thank you, Bernie. I didn't know Bernie was here. Thank you for the raid. How was your stream? Thank you, Pondo. Oh my god. My brain. What was I doing? Hi, my name's Chaos. I'm making
Inside the
Mothman
snow cave, the
while we
female
watch the
falls
most
into a
extreme.
deep
Thank you
sleep.
for the raid.
She won't wake
Did
up
you have a
for
good stream?
anything.
What were you streaming? There's lots of ducks. How did you... Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean you played with lots of ducks? I'm confused. It's a new game I don't know about. I'm very behind on gamer knowledge. I'm like a fake gamer. Thank you, Pondo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we've got one arm done. Placid plastic duck simu- What is that? Hold on. What? What is that? Great is what it is. I believe it. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. Placid plastic duck simulator. What is this? Amazing. Are you just a rubber duck? Are you just a plastic duck? Oh my god. This is cute. This is great. This is fantastic. What the hell? How have I never heard of this before? That's crazy. Dude, I want to be a placid plastic duck. The fuck? I want to do that. That's crazy. Thank you, Nightbot. What am I doing? I'm making Mothman. I'm gonna show you what we have so far. We have body with his eyes. We have his feet. So he'll have little feeties like this. Oops, I hit my mic. Have little feeties like this. Probably positioned better, but you know. And then I just finished making an arm. So he'll have an arm. And I gotta make the other arm. And then I got some nice fluffy yarn body to slay. Got some nice fluffy yarn for his wings and his antenna. I'd show you the picture that's in the book, but it took me forever to get the book situated in a way I like. So I'm not going to, unfortunately. Because it was so frustrating to get it to sit this way. But we're watching Most Extreme, and now we're on the Most Extreme Moms. The last episode was Most Extreme Lovers, but I wasn't sure if we could watch it on here, so I skipped it, unfortunately. But we're on Moms now. Thank you for the raid again, Zara. Thank you for bringing your community to me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you.
While the deliveries were painless, most moms went on to suffer postnatal depression. So
What the fuck are we talking about?
Was abandoned.
Hold on.
Trick. So it's no wonder
Okay.
doctors once tried to
So this
help
is polar
women
bears.
almost sleep through their labor too. Thanks to a cocktail of painkillers, moms became so relaxed that sometimes they couldn't remember anything about the birth of their child.
Oh,
While the
that's
deliveries were
problematic.
painless, most moms went on to suffer postnatal depression, so the twilight sleep treatment was abandoned.
Damn.
Giving birth would be so much easier if we were like polar bears.
Bro.
Why bother waking up if, relatively speaking, our baby was the same size as a polar bear cub?
Holy shit.
A
Truly, I just wanted to see you
polar
make
bear
Mothman.
gives
Oh,
birth
thank
to a
you.
half-kilo baby.
We're working on him. We're
That
gonna,
would be like
hopefully we're
us
gonna finish
giving
him
birth
today.
to
We'll
a
see if the
baby
wings give me a lot of
smaller
problems. I feel like they're
than
going
a
to.
golf ball. No wonder polar bears don't bother waking up.
1, 2, 3.
A polar bear cub is blind, toothless, and very, very cute.
Just like an old dog.
It will stay with its sleepy mother for 10 weeks, feeding off her fat, which has been converted into an energy-rich milk.
Why not just say milk? What?
But in this extreme
1, 2, 3,
landscape,
4,
the
5,
polar
6.
bear mom still has to work hard bringing up her baby. For the next 2 years,
Well, and they usually
her
don't have
cub
just
will
one
barely
baby,
leave
I
the
feel
sun.
like. I feel like I've only ever seen polar bears with 2 cubs, not just 1. Unless I'm the crazy one. Bum, 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 bum.
The polar bear may be one of the
This
coolest
is the
moms
worst
in the
part of this
countdown,
fucking
but she's
thing.
still only number 7, because coming up next, we really turn up
Are
the
you
heat.
coming apart? Why is my yarn coming apart? What's happening? There we go. And that's one of— No, why would you say that? Zara!
Our next extreme mom earned
Zebras.
her position honestly, even though she's a cheetah.
Oh,
The cheetah is one of the
It's
hardest
true,
working
but
moms on
sad,
the
it
African
is.
plains because she has up to 6 hungry mouths to feed. That
I
means
forgot
she
that
has to
cheetahs
hunt
just be
every day to
having
make
babies.
enough milk to feed her babies. But believe it or not, that's the easy part. There's no cheetah child care on the plains, and after only 6 weeks, her cubs start
They
helping
boozled
her
you.
hunt.
They did. They boozled me.
And it doesn't get any easier when they're teenagers.
Ouch. Go Id.
The
Do what I
cheetah is
want you
number
to do.
6 in the countdown because for
There we
almost
go.
2 years, this extreme mom has to put up with awkward teenagers that spend the day lounging around the plains, or worse, trying to help on the hunt.
Oh, just like my mom.
The only way the cubs can learn is by watching their mother in action, slowly stalking her victim
Oh, I
until
didn't put
she's
a
close enough
thingy.
to unleash her explosive speed.
I almost forgot my safety. My safety? My marker.
It's an
Whatever this
exciting
fucking
time
thing
for
is.
the cubs.
What? Okay.
In fact, it's too exciting. He's broken too soon and blown Mom's cover. One hunt in 6 will end in similar disaster.
Damn.
Because bringing up 4 kids isn't easy, and not just for cheetahs. Meet a most extreme human mom. This year, Kelly Vlahov and her husband will change over 9,000 diapers,
Oh!
make 1,275 lunches, and give 1,040 goodnight kisses. That's
What the
because
fuck?
Kelly has quadruplets. In America today, the chances of a
Quadruplets?
pregnant woman having a multiple birth have never been higher, thanks to the growing
4
use of assisted
at
reproductive
once?
techniques. In fact, the odds of having twins are 1 in 90. But if having 2 babies
2,
is
3, 4.
difficult, just imagine how much work is involved in looking after quadruplets.
No, thank
The
you.
hardest thing is just that your day is so constant. There's never a break. There's always something that needs to be done, you know, whether it's tending to them directly, getting them, you know, their food, drink, changing diapers, clothing. You know, it's a lot to handle having one child, and you multiply that times 4. So I would say
Can you
that's probably
imagine
the
being,
hardest thing,
like,
is just
ready
making
to have
everything
one
work and
kid?
trying to keep things organized.
And then you have
But there
4.
are some things that make it all worthwhile.
The I love you, mommy. That's the best. And the fact that it's, you know, times 4, that's awesome. And just, you know, you look at them and you're so proud of them because every day they grow and they learn new things, whether it's, you know, they come home from nursery school singing a new song, you know, or their intelligence is amazing. Everything about them is pretty much amazing.
That's too many.
The cheetah mom is also amazing, for as soon as her cubs have learnt to hunt, she leaves to start a new family of fast runners, but slow learners. While the cheetah is living proof that a mother's work is never done, she's still only number 6 in the countdown. For coming up is an extreme mom that builds 30,000 beds in her lifetime. And a
What?
mother that spends 2 months locked in the house with her children. That's coming up next on The Most Extreme.
Most extreme.
On the Indonesian island of Sumatra, hidden deep in the rainforest, number 5 in our countdown of most extreme moms is a real swinger.
What the fuck does that mean?
Meet the orangutan. For the ultimate high-rise mom spends her entire life far above the dangers on the forest floor.
Oh, a tiger! God, I love tigers. They're so pretty.
But hanging around in trees isn't easy, because this mom's the ultimate homemaker. For just like a human mother, there's always work to be done around the house.
The house being the
But when it
forest.
comes to homemaking, not even the busiest mom is a match for the orangutan. She's number 5 in the countdown because she builds a new home every single night. That means in the course of her life, she'll build from scratch more than 30,000 homes.
That's insane.
At the end of the day, a busy mom has no time to hang around. As high as 18 meters above the ground, she starts working on her nest. By bending over branches, she makes a firm base and then tucks in the smaller twigs to make a springy mattress.
I thought orangutans lived in groups, though. So why is she by herself?
The finished sleeping platform is so safe that this extreme mom can finally take the weight off her arms and spend some quality time with her
Orangutan
baby.
babies are so funny looking.
The orangutan is a nomad, restlessly swinging through the forest. Its life is a constant search for new food and for a new tree to call home for the night.
See,
But
I
if
didn't
you
know
thought
that.
This mom was an extreme homemaker.
I thought
Just
that they,
wait till
I don't
you
know.
meet the ultimate stick in the mud coming up next in the countdown.
Ugh.
The island of Sulawesi in Southeast Asia is home to the most extreme stay-at-home mom on the planet. Few mothers spend more time literally stuck in the house than the animal that sealed its position at number 4 in the countdown. Welcome to the world of the female red-knobbed hornbill. For 2 months, this devoted mom will be imprisoned on her nest inside the trunk of a hollow tree. But
Damn.
there's a good reason for her confinement. Sulawesi may look like a peaceful paradise for a nesting hornbill, but the local monitor lizards are much more than just social climbers. So to keep out hungry neighbors, the hornbill mom seals herself inside a hollow tree.
Crazy.
She's number 4 in the countdown because her building material is
1,
made
2,
from
3,
her
4,
own
5.
droppings.
Oh,
It sets
how did I
like
know he was
smelly
going to say
concrete,
that?
leaving only a tiny window to the outside world, where her mate is having a lovely time, roaming around and stuffing himself full of fruit. Luckily, he keeps his mate well fed with a steady supply of fruit, leaving her to concentrate on laying her egg and raising their chick. The only problem about living sealed in a tree trunk is that what goes in must come out. The steady diet of figs does wonders for the bowels, so this
Bro.
extreme mom and her baby quickly learn the techniques of basic nest hygiene.
Gross. We don't have to see it, bro.
Human moms have had to find different techniques. In Elizabethan times, most babies were treated to a fresh cloth diaper once every 4 days.
Oh.
Luckily,
Okay.
today we know a little more about hygiene. But with our increased understanding came a huge
Is that
increase
enough?
in laundry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Washing and drying about 10 cloth diapers
Second
a day
arm done.
isn't easy. So it's no wonder that it was a woman that created
Oh.
one of the greatest inventions of the 20th century.
The disposable diaper. Okay. Now I have
Driven
to change
to
the page.
desperation by cloth diaper hell, Idaho housewife Marion Donovan developed the
Poppy,
world's first
breathe.
disposable diaper.
Okay. So now...
Disposable diapers have revolutionized baby care.
Right now we're making the antenna.
Now they're
Okay.
so popular
So,
that the average baby goes through
I have to
an
think of how to
impressive
put my book
3,000
now,
diapers
because
a
now
year.
it's on the left. Okay.
That means in America alone,
I can move this though.
every single day, babies fill
That's helpful.
7,500 tons of diapers.
Oy. It's a lot of diapers.
So every
I'm just
day,
gonna shove
America's
that in
getting
there.
a pile of dirty diapers as tall as a 10-story building.
Gross.
The female hornbill may not have to worry about diapers.
Look,
but
here's the
after
fluffy
60
yarn.
days sealed in a tree with her baby, she's finally had enough. The chick will stay in the nest, but for now, this doting mom finally gets to spread
Do
her
I still
wings
use the
and fly
same?
the coop.
I'm assuming so.
The red-knobbed hornbill is a truly
Doesn't say to
extreme
use a
mom.
bigger hook for like the
After all,
wings.
can you imagine spending 2
So,
months sealed in a small
I'm not
room
going
with your
to.
kids? We've seen moms who can't wait.
That's what
for
we did to
bills
my mom during
arrive,
COVID.
while others go
We
ape
just,
over
like,
beds. But even the fastest mothers in the
forced her to
world
hang
are
out
no
with
match
us.
for the next heavyweight contenders, because some moms really know how to throw their weight around. That's next on the most
Okay.
extreme.
Extreme. Let me. Okay. 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 Can I use this Five Nights at Freddy's thing? No. No. This is proving to be more frustrating than I thought it was going to be. Oy.
On the islands of the sub-Antarctic, number 3 in our countdown of extreme moms lives a soap opera life.
Okay.
Huge guys will fight for her. She'll live in a harem, lose immense amounts of weight, have a child, and then run away to sea.
What? Where is the
All
center of
this
this?
in one blockbuster season for the elephant seal.
Okay, where's any end
The
for
show
this?
begins when our extreme mom comes ashore to meet her leading man.
Okay, here's an
He's
end.
got a big reputation, mainly because he's at least 4 times her size.
Okay.
But
Okay.
she's no lightweight. On a good day, she can weigh about the same as 6 refrigerators.
I would
tipping
prefer
the
to
scales
be
at
able to
nearly
find the one
800
that's
kilos.
center pull, but there probably
It's not easy being this big,
isn't one on this.
especially when you have to put
Or
up
is
with
there?
your co-star's extreme
There is! Thank God.
halitosis.
Yippee!
For this extreme mom, life really is a beach.
Will my water
All
bottle
this
work?
lying
Well, but then I
around
can't
may
read it.
look
God
easy,
damn it.
But how would you like to be
Why is
pregnant
everything
for 11
hard?
months of every year?
No, thank you. You can keep
means
that to the
11
elephant
months of
seals.
doing nothing but eating.
Well, I do that anyway, but
She needs to put on 1 kilo a day so that she gets enough blubber to play the part of mother to her pup.
I just got shit everywhere,
Such
bro. Okay.
extreme weight gain doesn't worry
We'll
these
see
big
if
mamas.
this
Unlike
works.
some
Okay, well now you
humans.
can't see anything.
For some pregnant mothers, it's a
Okay.
big
I didn't
concern.
think about this
Enjoy
when I
your food,
was...
but don't overeat.
Okay.
Unless you are careful, you will become needlessly overweight.
Although pregnant women may feel the size of elephant seals, on average
accidentally
they'll only gain about
hit that
13
button on my
kilos
controller.
during pregnancy.
This
And
is
about
proving
9
to be harder
kilograms
than
of
I
that
thought it was
extra
going
weight is
to
lost
be.
in the first month after having the baby.
Okay. I don't know what to do here.
But that's nothing
My
compared
book
to
is
an
now
elephant
causing
seal mom.
problems.
She's number 3 in the countdown because in the month
The
after
wind
having
can't
her
see.
pup, she loses 1/3 of her body weight. That's nearly
That's a lot.
300 kilos. All that fat she put on before the birth gets converted into milk.
We're just gonna push it against this
She
thing for
loses
now.
9 kilograms every day she feeds her pup. That's because elephant seal milk has 15 times
And I can
as much
basically
fat
see
in
it,
as
so
human breast milk.
for the antenna,
And about
we're gonna do
25
this. This
times
is going to
more
be
fat than
terrible.
cow milk.
I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this
But
at all.
then
I don't know if
cows are
I'm
more
going to be able to
interested
see
in
this at
quantity
all.
than quality. A commercial
Hold
dairy
on.
cow yields about 14 liters of milk a day. It would
If
take
this doesn't
25
work, I
nursing
have
human mothers to
another
produce as
yarn
much
I can
milk as a
use.
single dairy cow.
Hopefully this works, because I think it'll
But
look
these
really
elephant
neat.
seal pups don't care where
Okay,
their
so
milk comes
6.
from, so long as there's lots of it.
1,
In the 4 weeks since their birth, they've got 4 times heavier, and their poor moms haven't eaten a thing.
2.
But now the soap opera is coming to an end, and it's time to eat. After a
3.
month of dramatic devotion to duty, the pups are big enough to look after themselves. But if you think the elephant seal gives her all for
4.
her pup, just wait till you see the sacrifices made by our next extreme contender.
Okay, I can't see where. Hold on. Okay. Man. My genius. It may be failing me. It may be failing me.
The next contender in our countdown of most extreme moms may have to look after an incredible 50,000 babies. She'll need every one of her 8 arms. And in the end, it'll require the ultimate sacrifice. Racing in to number 2 in the countdown is the octopus. She lives her life at a furious pace, mainly because she has to pack everything into one short year. Going from egg to adult in only 12 months means eating a lot. And finally, she
but
has
I
to
can't
find a
see my
secure place
stitches.
where she can lay eggs of her own, away from the ever-menacing cod. She looks for a lair that she can easily defend, because the cod is never far behind. And then she lays her
Aw,
eggs.
I can't
up to
do this the way I want to.
50,000.
God damn it. I may still be able to use this for the wings, though. Maybe I
They
just
take
can't do it
some
for the
looking after.
antenna.
She has to
Oh,
regularly squirt
I'm
water
sad.
and give them a gentle wash with her tentacles. It's a full-time job, which means she has no time to eat.
Okay.
It will be 40 days before her children leave home, so these extreme moms get really hungry. A starving octopus has been known to eat her own arms rather than leave her precious brood unprotected. An octopus mom has little reason to trust in cod. He'll steal her eggs if he can. The octopus has 50,000
I really
good
don't want to
reasons
grab
fight
that
him
big
off.
ass pound
But
of
back
black
in the
again.
30s, some extreme human mothers had 500,000 reasons to make babies. When eccentric Canadian lawyer Charles Miller wanted to see just what extreme things people would do for money, he left $500,000 in his will.
Let's see if I
to
can
the
use this to
Toronto
make the
woman who
wings,
had the
otherwise I'm
most
going to be
babies in
sad.
the
So we'll start
10
with the
years
wings,
following
even
his
though,
death.
like, that's silly.
A decade later, and 4 families had tied for first place with 9 children each.
I'd like to assume this is a slip knot.
But meanwhile, 104
1,
children have come into the world under the
2,
will, and the Canadian courts have the problem
3,
of dividing the money for invalidating the will as
4,
degrading under the
5.
Canadian standard of public morals.
But there's nothing wrong with the morals of the octopus mom. Her babies are ready to hatch, thanks to her extraordinary devotion.
See if this works. 1. Hold on. Okay. Okay.
But
I
this is
think
one
I think
mother
I can
who
do
will
this.
never suffer
I think I
from
could do
empty
this for
nest
the
syndrome.
wigs. I
She's
think.
number 2 in the countdown because there's a price to pay for all her hard work.
I think.
She may have lost her babies, but her old enemies are back. And because she's completely exhausted, she no longer has the strength to fight them off.
No.
But even the octopus's tragic death is no match for the horror that befalls the most extreme mother in the countdown.
1, 2.
We've seen the 9 contenders. They're the best of the best.
5.
Only one animal is a more extreme mothering machine. It's number 1, and it's coming up next on the most extreme.
Two. I think I skipped one.
There are some real psychos
Supposed
in
to
the
be 4
natural
here.
world. And the number 1 animal in the countdown gives birth to the worst of them all. The most extreme mom in the world is the sea louse. Having kids is the
The fuck is
last
that?
thing she should do. From the moment the male sea louse lures her into his lair, things go terribly wrong. Once he's got her in his clutches,
One.
there's no escape. She's sealed inside his burrow, with
2.
up to 25 other females in a harem of horror.
Oh my god.
Now they're all pregnant, but these
3.
extreme moms have no reason to look forward to Mother's Day. She's number 1 in the countdown because
4.
dozens of her psycho children have been eating her from the inside out. She dies
Ew.
as the withered husk of her body splits apart, unleashing her brood of little Norman
1,
Bateses into an unsuspecting ocean.
3. 4.
This extraordinary mother has made the ultimate sacrifice for her children. So there can be no doubt that when it comes to motherhood, the female sea louse really is the most extreme.
1. 2. 3. Oh. I can't fucking see what I'm doing. I have to just feel.
If you think Father knows best, discover that he's no match for the big daddies of the natural world. We're
I'm making the
counting down
wings
top
purely
10
on vibes
most
alone,
extreme dads
'cause I
in the
can't see what
animal
I'm doing.
kingdom, and comparing them to human attempts to father their way into the record books.
Okay.
Find out what it's
4.
like to be a real cool daddy when
I'm
fatherhood's
sorry?
taken to the most extreme.
5.
Earth is a planet of extremes. Extreme places
No. 6.
and extreme animals.
Oi.
But some animals
Go in. There we
are
go.
more extreme than others.
7. Okay.
Join us as we count down
Chain
to find the most
1,
unusual and the most
10.
extraordinary on Animal Planet's The Most
I can't see my
Extreme.
stitches. I have to just feel them.
Number 10.
The countdown begins in Africa with a father that's really extreme, extremely hot, and extremely lazy. The lion is number 10 in the countdown because the king of the beasts is actually a real layabout. He can, quite happily, doze for 20 hours a day. But even this most ferocious father gets no respect from his children. The lion can have about 20 curious cubs, thanks to his 7 lionesses.
What?
When it comes to lions, bringing up the babies is definitely woman's work. For this
Oh, I
father
think I
is
see
a
how it's
fighter.
going. Okay.
These 2 bachelors want to make babies. As father of the pride, it's up to this extreme dad to stop them. For if he fails, these new males will kill all his cubs. The lion is number 10 in the countdown because when it comes to looking after his family, it pays not to rumble with the king of the jungle.
1, 2. Oh no. 3.
But lions aren't the only dads to have to fight for their families.
4.
In days of old, human fathers protected their homes against all kinds of
5.
dangers, both real and imagined. However, today's battles are a little more paltry. Domesticated dads don't have to fight off wild animals anymore, so they've had to find another outlet for their primal instincts. That's why some psychologists think that males have become so fascinated with sports.
7.
Through sports, men
Is it starting to
can
look like a
prove their
wing? Is it
masculinity.
starting? You can't see what I'm seeing, but it's got like 2 little. It looks like an amogus.
For
It
some
looks like a
fathers
really
and
fluffy
sons,
amogus because it's
just
like.
watching sports is a way of
You can't
making
see
an
it.
emotional connection.
I'm trying my damnedest
But
here.
there are other ways of bonding that take place in a less testosterone-enriched environment.
1.
The YMCA Indian Guide program
3.
draws a father and son together.
Huh?
A boy grows by identifying with his father.
Perhaps lion cubs would find it easier to identify with their father if he spent more time on the sofa watching sports and less time playing football with his kids.
Maybe the instructions are just confusing. I'm trying to think. Okay, 3. Turn.
Number 9.
Some men think they're great
Okay.
lovers, but like most male animals, they're
Oh,
not
posture.
very good at
Okay,
relationships.
also straight. I think I'm gonna have to do this in a different yarn because I can't fucking see what I'm doing.
Male animals are more than happy to make babies, but when it comes time to raise
That
a
makes me
family,
kinda sad.
they don't stick around for long.
We're making Mothman. I'm attempting anyway.
Our next
I'm all,
contender lives in
let
Australia
me do the hydrate.
and is the Casanova of the countdown. It's the marsupial mouse called Antechinus.
Make
He's
a Mothman.
11
We
months
have his
old
body.
and has just become
This is his
sexually
whole body.
mature. But he's only got 3
We
more
have-
weeks to live. So when he finds a female,
We have
he's got an itch that
feet.
really needs scratching.
feet. And we have
Antechinus is number 9 in the
arms.
countdown because he's so busy making babies that he forgets to
You
eat,
only have 3
drink,
weeks to
and
live, or
sleep.
you're a
He
Casanova.
can spend up to 12 hours on the job, unless he's interrupted by an equally desperate rival with fantasies of fatherhood. Into a sexual frenzy
I was
by
gonna
a
make
huge burst of
the
natural
antenna
steroids in their bloodstream.
and
Males
the
fight
wings
for
in this
females.
faux fur and breed reason
They
for
lose, then
okay.
it's off to find the next potential mother.
I was gonna make the wings and the antenna in this faux fur, but I can't fucking see what I'm doing.
Anti-Kindness's extraordinary powers of passion
Anti-Kindness.
have only been rivaled by one man, the most extreme father in history.
The most extreme Genghis Khan?
According to the record books, the human Anti-Kindness lived in Morocco at the end of the 16th century. He was Emperor Ismail the Bloodthirsty.
It's
With
not
his
Genghis
4
Khan.
wives and harem of 500 concubines, he said
Oh.
to have fathered a record 888 children.
What?
Ismail must have been a very busy man indeed, for making babies is biologically quite difficult. That's because fertility statistics show that 10% of the harem are likely to be infertile. And all the remaining women would only have a short period of fertility in their monthly cycle. Don't forget,
I'm
the chances
so
of
taken
conceiving
aback
can
right now.
actually be as low as 15%. And of those that actually get pregnant, there are always some miscarriages. One researcher calculated that to
I
father
don't know.
888 children,
I think they're
the
just going
emperor
off
would have had to have
statistics.
mated with 4.8 women every day for 4 decades. With that kind of activity, it's a wonder that Ismail didn't end up like the male
Like, what the fuck are they talking
Poisoned by
about?
steroids in his blood, he's dying for love. But he's actually making the ultimate sacrifice for his family. The female lives on and will raise his children. They'll actually have a better
The
chance of
mom
surviving
episode, which was
without
right
their
before this, was
extreme
not
death,
like this.
because in these forests, there's just
Okay, I'm gonna
not
try to make
enough
the antenna with
food
this
for a
faux fur one
father
more
that's
time, and
past
if
his
not, I'm going to
use-by
just
date.
lose. There's a way I can do it. I don't. Do I remember how?
We've rolled past the first 2 contenders. But just wait till your father gets home.
Well,
Coming up
here's
are
the thing,
dads that love
Mr.
to
Most
horse
Extreme
around,
Man.
and real men that can make milk.
My father
That's next
isn't
on
coming
Animal
home.
Planet's The Most
Well, technically he is home. But
Number 8.
In the parched lands of northern
don't
India,
know if I'm gonna
our
be able to
next
do this.
contender in the countdown of extreme dads
Oh.
isn't the bravest animal on the planet. The golden jackal is sneaky, scrounging a living in the harsh
What am I gonna do with this
landscape by
faux fur now?
scavenging scraps of food.
whale.
Jackals will eat anything, especially when there are young babies at home that need feeding every 2 hours. It's a tough job, but luckily the female's got a partner she can depend on. Unlike almost all other mammals, jackals mate for life. When mom and dad hunt together, their success rate is 3 times greater than if they had hunted alone.
I'm gonna use this yarn, because more than likely it'll work better.
That's why the
If
jackal
not-
is number 8 in the countdown of extreme fathers. If dad died, it's unlikely that the rest of the family would survive without his help.
Aww. Whew.
Jackal dads have a truly disgusting way of putting dinner on the table. It's a good thing human dads aren't more like jackals when they bring home the baby.
I got a different yarn that hopefully will work better than the faux fur, and if not, I'm just going to cry.
Mother's glad to see me too. It's good to be home.
During the 60s, the stereotypical American family had mom at home bringing up the kids while dad brought home the money. But today, the traditional family unit has changed.
Can I pull this?
Now, only 7% of American
Nope,
families
I
fit
can't
the
pull that.
stereotype.
Okay, hold on.
Today, 4 out of 10 children grow up without a father.
There's a way to
being
do
home,
the magic
and
circle
that can cause
with
problems.
chunky yarn.
According to one study,
And I don't remember
90%
what it
of
is, so
runaway
hold on.
kids don't have dads. And even worse, 70% of violent criminals grew up without a father.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna become a violent criminal. Where's...
Luckily for
Okay,
these
okay.
pups,
What was I doing?
This is one extreme father that will never leave home, no matter how demanding his kids are.
Magic circle. Flush.
So far,
Yarn.
we've seen layabout lions, mad marsupial mice, and doting doggy dads. But coming up is a giant bug that really gets to grips with his
A
monstrous
giant
family.
bug.
That's next on Animal Planets, the most extreme.
No, I need to know how you got to the
Number
ring.
7.
Stupid bitch. Number 7.
To find the next contender in our countdown of extreme dads, you've got to dive into the rice paddies of Japan.
Japan.
Meet the giant water bug.
What the
One of
fuck is
most
that?
Devoted fathers in the countdown, with one of the most fearsome reputations.
I've learned how to do this exactly once
Nothing is
before.
safe
I just
from
need
its
her to hurry up.
deadly jaws.
Yeah, that way you do this.
It'll try to suck the life out of frogs, fishes, and
Oh,
even
I was doing it
unwary
backwards.
human hands. But there's a remarkably sensitive side to this extreme dad. High on a plant stem, the female has laid 80 eggs. But in an act of extreme devotion, it's the male giant
I don't care
water
about
bug that stands guard over his eggs. He only leaves to collect water
Ouch.
to make sure his family doesn't dry out.
What
All
the
this
fuck?
housework isn't easy, but the eggs are safer up here, far away from the hungry mouths of the giant water bugs down below. After 7 days and nights, the water bug's extreme dedication finally pays off. If only human fathers were all such dedicated homemakers. After
Man,
all,
if only.
keeping house and bringing up the kids was
Okay,
once
we're gonna try
thought
one more
to
time
be
with the
a
plus,
woman's work.
this yarn because I remembered how to do the thing.
For some reason, man and
No.
housework just didn't
No,
go
I'm fucking
together.
everything up. No. 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 Okay, hold on. I've got yarn everywhere. Don't mind me.
But things are
We're just
changing.
gonna put this here.
Today, there
And we're
are
gonna hope for the
twice as
best.
many stay-at-home dads as there were in 1965. And it seems
My
that
dad was
house
almost a
husband's
stay-at-home
work
dad.
is never done.
My mom was like, hey, you want to be a stay-at-home dad? And he was like, no. And then he just didn't get a
This
job.
might explain why some believe that house husbandry is bad for your health. Recent research suggests that stay-at-home dads are more likely to die younger. In fact, compared
Well-
to men who leave the house to work, stay-at-home dads have an
You see,
82% higher risk
ah.
of death from heart disease.
Well, my previous statement does not help this statistic.
But
Anyway,
if you think
we're gonna
raising
try
a
this.
human family is stressful, spare a thought for a different kind of water bug.
Water bug.
Instead of raising eggs on plants, this extreme dad rears 150 children on his back.
Oops.
A female
No, I
water
fucked it
bug
up.
turns her mate into the
Ew!
ultimate house
Ah!
husband by
My
sneaking
trypophobia!
eggs onto his wing cases. The
No.
giant water bug is number 7 in the countdown because carrying this precious cargo for a month is truly back-breaking labor.
Okay. So now you just go through both rings.
Number 6.
1.
Our next contender is hidden high in the mountains of the Andes.
2. Oh, you can't see me. Oops.
Meet the Rhea,
3.
an extreme dad that's also called the South American ostrich. Thanks to this
4.
nest, he's very popular with the girls. In fact, he has a harem of 5 females
5.
who take turns laying eggs in his nest.
Strange. 6. Okay.
But once the females have laid their eggs, they run away. For these girls just want to have fun.
Girls, they wanna have fun.
And that's why the male Rhea is number 6 in the countdown.
Okay.
He's
We're gonna see if
left
this
to
works.
raise the family, and he takes his job very seriously. He'll spend the next 2 months on the nest, and he's so dedicated that he'll starve himself in the process. He'll survive on just a quarter of his normal food intake. He can't afford to leave the nest for long because
Nope,
he
not
has
that
to
one.
guard his eggs against all kinds of intruders.
We'll see if this works. I don't know if it's going to. Oh. It's working. At least I think it is. Yeah!
But for this solo dad,
You can't see what I'm
sitting around
doing.
all day is just
And
the
neither
first
can
part of his
I.
duties.
Okay, now
Soon,
what do I do?
he'll
2
have up
single
to
crochet
20 new
increase.
chicks to look after.
Okay, can I find the next stitch? Is now the question.
The
And I
chicks
don't know
will
if the
quickly
answer
become
will be
imprinted
yes.
on their huge father's form, and for 2 years will never stray far from his side. But what
Aw.
about the father? Why do dads find their babies so appealing?
Well,
Well, it
Huh?
seems that human dads may be pre-programmed to find babies cute and cuddly. Scientists have found that we respond warmly to certain features associated with a baby's face.
what is it? What does that have to do with being a dad?
Big eyes and a small nose.
What is
Strangely
okay?
enough, we can now see these same features in one of the most popular toys in the world.
A baby doll?
The teddy bear is
Oh.
the best-selling toy of all time. You
Hi,
may not
Bernie.
have noticed, but over the last 100 years, the shape of the teddy bear has changed.
Ugh.
This is one cuddly toy that's actually become cuddlier, and it's all thanks to our attraction to baby faces. Originally, teddy bears looked reasonably lifelike.
Dude, I would kill for a teddy bear that looks like that. What the hell?
Beady little eyes and a large snout. But over the years,
I can give
as
you a
we
big
looked
one.
for
Do you want a
bears
big
that
one?
were
Was
cuter,
the little one not
we
enough?
selected toys that were more and more baby-like, with large forehead, big eyes, and a small, cute nose. Baby Rhea are also small and cute.
1.
We may not turn
No.
them into
Hmm.
soft toys, but in the eyes of their father, these chicks are the
No.
center of the universe. With such dedication,
2.
it's no wonder that this massive bird really is one of the most committed fathers in the countdown.
I think this is a
If
different
you
stitch.
thought that this Daddy Longlegs was devoted. Coming up are fishy fathers that really are the ultimate homemaker.
2.
And we'll find out why teaching a family to fly brought one dad down
3.
to earth with a thud. That's next on Animal Planet's The Most Extreme.
4.
Number 5.
5.
The next contender in our countdown of extreme fathers has real trouble building the family home.
6.
Here in the marshes of northern Japan,
1, 2, 3,
construction
4,
is
5, 6.
especially difficult for the extreme dad coming in at number 5 in the countdown. The stickleback is an
7.
extreme carpenter. When he builds his house, he doesn't
8.
use nails. He uses a glue secreted by his kidneys.
I can't see what the fuck I'm doing. 9.
His house may be small,
Wait,
but it's
huh?
perfectly formed. At least this female stickleback thinks so.
Oh, only 2
She's
times.
quick to cross the threshold, with a little encouragement from the male.
Now I am confused. I've fucked everything up. Okay, hold on.
Once she's laid her eggs, he dashes in to fertilize them.
Okay. Oh, there's fluff everywhere. Ah!
But then it's out with the old and in with the new, because he wants to lure as many females as possible into his love shack.
Ew. Okay.
The stickleback's able to fertilize the eggs of up to 5
1.
females. But that's nothing compared to the theoretical potency of human males.
Oh my god.
Every human male has the potential to be an extreme dad. After all,
Oh no, I can't
this
find
lifetime
where my
will
hook
produce
fell out
an
of.
Incredible 2,000 billion sperm cells. And since
lot
it
of
only
sperm
takes
cells.
1 sperm cell to fertilize an egg, in theory,
Okay.
every time a man makes love to a woman, he releases enough sperm to fertilize every woman in Europe.
What?
Theoretically, that means
What?
the whole world's population could be reproduced in just 1 day by only 23 men. But fertilizing eggs is easy. Looking after them is difficult. The stickleback is number 5 in the countdown because of the extreme effort he puts into caring for his babies.
Aw.
He fans the eggs with his fins to supply oxygen to the developing embryos and to wash away any waste products.
Aw.
He's so driven, he'll spend 2/3 of his day fanning at up to 400 beats per minute. This extreme dad can even scare off nosy neighbors, unlike the next contender in the countdown.
Oh my god, I can't find the next stitch. Nope, I've already been in that one.
Number 4.
It is 6.
Not all dads are big and strong. In fact, coming in at number 4 in the countdown is a male that really gets henpecked.
How long have you known her? Pretending you painted those pictures out of your own head and all the time you were just copying the work of a real artist.
Ugh. Oh no, I can't take my stitch marker
Our
out. There we
next
go.
contender lives on the flooded plains of Brazil, where so much rain falls that it helps if you can walk on water. And the jacana does just that. It's also called the lily trotter, for obvious
Oh, look at it.
reasons.
Look at its funny
But
little
this
legs.
bizarre bird is number 4 in the countdown because the male jacana is an extreme wimp. He's
Oh!
looking after a nest full of eggs, but his mate has disappeared.
Coffee.
This female's a stranger, and she needs a new mate. But that's our male's worst nightmare. He can yell all he likes, but the foreign female is only after one thing: his eggs.
No.
The ultimate henpecked male can only watch as she smashes his family.
No.
eggs he so carefully reared were nearly ready to hatch, but now they're lunch for the female. Having eaten, the female signals to the male that she's now in the mood for love. And with the most extreme amnesia in the countdown, the bereaved male mates with his baby killer.
Oh my god. Twitch, you're gonna get me mad. YouTube.
She'll lay eggs in his nest, but because she has many partners on the floodplains, our dad will never know if he's rearing his chicks or those sired by another henpecked male. But strangely enough, the Jacana isn't the only dad to raise someone else's family. This is a family of orphaned geese. They have a surrogate father, Canadian artist Bill Lishman. He had no trouble teaching his babies how to run. Teaching them how to fly required.
Oh, this might be too big. The antenna might be too big if I do it with this, now that I think about it. God damn it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I think. I'm gonna try to do the antenna in the velvet and then maybe the wings in the faux fur. I don't know if we'll be able to do it though.
Surrogate family under his wing. Literally. Bill Lishman was the first human to lead a flock of geese along their migration path. His babies followed him like they would their real father, when in 1994, he escorted 18 geese south from Ontario to Virginia.
Aww. How sweet.
No wonder they call him Father Goose.
We try it again. We make another attempt.
It's a shame there's no Father Jacana protecting these chicks. For this henpecked male needs all the help he can get.
Dude, the Jacana isn't just the stepdad. He's the dad that stepped up.
Fish build with sticks.
What the fuck did I just do?
Birds get their kicks. But coming up, we'll discover
this is taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
Frog in their throat. That's next on Animal Planet.
I'm sorry?
The most extreme.
What the fuck am I doing?
Number 3.
The next contender in our countdown of extreme dads has a problem. In southern Africa, the rains have gone. These tadpoles are only 2 days old, but already their pool is drying up fast.
Why did it undo again? I'm going to lose my mind.
Dad. The
Look at that toad.
African bullfrog. It's his job to protect his 6,000 children, and he finds
Why am I having issues with this? Did it just fine earlier.
The bullfrog is number 3 in the countdown.
Oh, it seems like Pondo is no longer losing his mind.
His powerful legs can build a channel into a bigger pool, and so save his entire family from disaster.
1. Okay. 2.
For some dads, bringing up baby can be really hard
3.
work. In fact, most human fathers have no idea how hard it will be.
4.
For some young men, the journey to fatherhood
5.
is no game. New York City high school student Richard Hammond is learning that looking after a baby can really upset your social life.
Bro.
As part of a
He's just leaving his baby over there! Somebody go take your baby!
He's been given a baby for the weekend.
Oh.
But it's
not a real
ordinary
baby.
It's actually a cyborg with a programmable personality. Richard's part of a program called Baby Think It Over. Together with Carol Lambert from Reality Works Incorporated, Richard can learn how to change a baby's diapers without any of the mess.
And then 1.
But there's much more to this baby than meets the eye. It
Oh
was
God,
designed
please.
by a rocket scientist using state-of-the-art computer technology.
Ow. No.
Inside the baby, what runs it is something called a microprocessor,
okay.
which is essentially a small computer, and that's what controls baby.
I don't
It's
know
kind
what
of
to
the heart
do,
and soul
y'all.
of baby. Some of the different types of things
I may
that
not be able to
baby
make
is
the
able to
antenna
do
fluffy, and that
is
makes me
it'll
really
cry
sad,
and request
actually.
that the student feed it. It might need to have its diaper changed, to be burped, to be rocked.
I don't know what to
And it will
do. I
also
want the
report
antenna to be
how much it
fluffy,
was
but I
cared for
can't.
properly in terms of if it asked to be fed 6 times, was it actually fed 6 times, etc. So the reporting that the teacher gets back on how the student did is very detailed.
So what did Richard think of being a
Okay,
father
so
for the
here's what we're
weekend?
going to do. We're gonna give this a really
It was pretty
long
hard because you
tail.
couldn't like really do what you wanted to do. Like you had to give your undivided attention to the baby at all times, and you couldn't leave it neglected. So it really was like time consuming. My friends would call me and ask me, "Oh, why don't you come outside play basketball?" But I couldn't because I had to take care of the baby.
At least Richard doesn't have to care for his baby like another extreme father that lives in the forests of South America. Darwin's frog takes his paternal duties one step further than even the African bullfrog. As soon as the female has laid her eggs, it's the male's job to protect his family. So he eats the eggs.
Why?
His family develops in their own special pond inside his vocal sacs. And there's a very good reason for this extreme behavior. For in this forest, there are plenty of predators that eat frogs, both large and small. Luckily,
Oh my God, this is going to piss me off, actually.
He flips onto his back and plays dead.
At this point,
Once the danger's passed, he and his babies can swim to safety. And then, after 6 long weeks, this extreme dad gives birth by throwing up.
what the fuck? Okay, now what did I do wrong? I'm gonna lose my mind, actually. What if I didn't do it like that? What if I just did it the normal way
These
and hoped
frogs
for the
really
best?
give new meaning to the phrase, bringing up the baby.
What if I just did it this way and hoped for the fucking best? If I did it correctly, anyway. Y'all are about to see me crash out. I'm losing my mind. I want his antenna to be fluffy. If it's the last fucking thing I do.
Antarctica, the coldest place on Earth. In winter, it gets so cold here, everything freezes solid, including the ocean. This giant ice block is one of the harshest places to live on the planet, but it's home to the coolest contender in the countdown.
Penguin? Yeah.
Emperor penguins actually travel to Antarctica to breed in the middle of winter.
Okay, well this time I fucked
They
up.
can slide more than 50 miles to their frozen breeding grounds.
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna take a breath. I'm gonna stop touching things. I'm gonna take a breath.
Here, the temperature is usually
'Cause now I'm just
30
messing things
degrees
up that are
below
easy.
0. And to make things worse, it will be more than 4 months before the sun rises
Okay.
above the horizon again.
We're gonna take a breath. We're gonna look at the penguins for a second. We're gonna take a breath. Yeah, take a breath.
Into this frozen darkness, the female produces an egg. If they leave it on the ground, it will freeze. So this extreme dad makes a nest From his feet. He
From his feet?
balances this precious egg on top of his toes, barely moving.
Did
for
they really? You're
65
fucking
long
joking.
days. The females all left long ago, so the males are left huddled together, waiting for the end of the worst winter on the planet. When the sun finally returns, there are new
I was gonna say I'm
arrivals in the
getting to that
colony.
point. I'm not getting to that point. I'm just frustrated because the things I want to do aren't doing what I want them to do at
But there's a
all.
problem.
And so,
How do you feed a hungry chick when
I'm
the
going to
fridge is
lose
empty
my
and
mind.
you haven't eaten for 4 months? The emperor penguin is
You're
number
counting
2 in
the
the countdown
stars?
because he can feed his baby with a special stomach secretion that looks a little like milk. It's a nice trick. But could human fathers also produce milk for their babies?
Oh, look at his tiny little head.
Men have the necessary equipment to make milk. Most scientists think that nipples are just one of those sexually neutral pieces of
I
equipment
don't think they
that
called you a
humans get
slur.
regardless of sex, like arms or brains.
I think they told
Men's
you to
nipples
die.
are fully functional, but their development is usually completely suppressed by male hormones. But throughout history, there have been stories of men producing breast milk. Enough
You know, I
even to
wasn't
raise a
expecting to see lactation in this
Having just
episode.
had a baby, freelance writer Laura Shanley and her partner David decided to test the theory with surprising results.
David decided that he wanted to see if he could produce milk simply through suggestion. So he began saying belief suggestions that he would produce milk. And within a week, one breast swelled up, and
He manifested titties.
breast, and it was one breast was bigger than the other, and I saw the milk dripping out. It is happening out there. It's just that most
He
men are-
manifested titties and lactation?
But emperor penguins aren't ashamed. These extreme dads know that a little mouth-to-mouth resuscitation is necessary when you nest so far from food.
Little baby penguin.
Even so, it's a vast relief when, after 2 months away, the females return with stomachs full of fish. But big bellies and small babies make completing the transfer difficult. This is one time when you don't want to stand on your partner's toes.
It looks like she's just chasing him around. Oh, it's so small,
Emperor
bro.
penguin chicks are lucky they have a father that takes childcare in his stride. But even the coolest dad can't
Okay.
compete with the animal that's number 1 in the countdown.
We're gonna try again. We're gonna try again. And if not, then I don't know what the fuck to do.
We've seen the 9
Because, I'm gonna lose
They're
my
the
mind.
best of the best.
I'm
Only
assuming number 1 is the
is a
seahorse.
more extreme
I can't put my
fathering
nail.
machine.
There we go.
It's number 1, and it's coming up next on Animal Planets.
I can only assume it's the seahorse.
Number 1.
Welcome to Miami. This is one place where you can find the most extreme dad in the countdown. In
How
these
so?
waters, there are males that make the ultimate sacrifice in the name of fatherhood. For here, your mother is also your father.
Okay, it is a seahorse.
The number 1 most extreme dad in the countdown is the seahorse. Male seahorses are extremely romantic. When they're in the mood for love, they'll dance for 3 days. And it's all for a good reason. Dancing gives these guys a huge pot belly. And that's a real turn-on for female seahorses. Dancing
Oh my God,
close
please,
to his
Titan.
massive stomach, it takes only seconds for the female to lay hundreds of eggs inside the male. The seahorse is the #1 most extreme dad in the countdown because it's the male that gets pregnant. That massive stomach is actually a brood pouch. The walls of his belly provide nourishment for the developing eggs inside him. Unfortunately, human males don't have the necessary equipment to get pregnant. But
no,
that doesn't
they
stop
do
some
not.
from trying.
Impreg? Impreg, bro.
Whether you like it or not.
I'm sorry?
That Smith? I could have a baby too. You, Mr. Williams? Why?
Okay, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. This yarn is terrible.
In 1996, British journalist Adrian Gadden became a human seahorse. To experience what his pregnant partner was going through, he simulated all the symptoms of pregnancy. He drank salt water to suffer from morning sickness. He wore a false belly containing 20 pounds and strapped weights to his ankles. A constant diet of high-fiber foods generated a steady supply of internal gas. And he even suffered tenderness of the chest region by applying clothespins to his nipples.
What?
Guys, don't try this at home. After 9 months of this regime, most men would have a healthy respect for those with a bun in the oven. So spare a thought for the male seahorse. He can have 1,000 buns in his swollen oven. And it's 4 long weeks before his contractions begin. Then this extraordinary dad gives birth.
Okay.
These baby seahorses
This isn't
have
gonna
a
work.
truly unique
I'm
father.
gonna lose my mind.
No other dad goes to such extraordinary lengths to look after his babies.
Okay. I'm like mad. No, the one is pregnant. No. Oh my god, that's terrible.
That when it comes to fatherhood, the seahorse really is the most extreme.
What is the deadliest animal on Earth?
And then it just goes straight to venom.
That
Okay.
gives lethal injections?
I don't know what to do. I'm getting frustrated.
We're counting down the top 10 most extreme venoms in the animal kingdom and finding out just what happens when these toxins get under our skin. With all stings considered, you'll discover that reality bites when venom's taken to the
It
most
didn't work with the one
extreme.
method, and it's not working with the other one, so I really don't know what to do
Is a
here.
planet of extremes. Extreme places. And extreme
This is the reality of crochet, y'all.
But some animals are more extreme than others.
I just want the antenna to be fluffy,
Join us
but
as
I'm
we
apparently
count
not
down
allowed
find
to
the
do
most
that.
Unusual, the most extraordinary, the most extreme.
Extreme.
Our countdown begins in warm waters around the world. For hiding in the shallows is the animal that's number 10 in our countdown of extreme venom. It's the stingray.
The
Each year
stingray!
in America alone, 50 times more people are injured by encounters with stingrays than with sharks. That's because we don't see them buried in the sand. And if you
Why is
stand
it
on
doing
one,
this?
that whip-like tail lashes out and buries a venomous spine into your leg.
Isn't that what happened to
It's
Steve
a nasty
Irwin?
surprise for even the biggest hunters in the sea. For hungry orca, a stingray is a mouth-watering morsel. But the stingray's sting contains not only enzymes that destroy flesh, but also serotonin,
which causes instant, excruciating pain. It's enough to make even these hungry hunters think twice. So why would anyone want to keep stingrays in a touch tank?
Because they're friendly. They're just little guys.
Here at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California, even expert Mark Luce is cautious. Most of the time, stingrays are peaceful, even playful animals. Some have called them the pussycats of the sea. But if they get frightened,
who the fuck says
pussycat? Tail is enough to drive home their venomous spine. And that's the difference between poison and venom.
Okay, so this method also
Venom
isn't
only
working.
works
So
if it's injected into the victim. So stingrays
I guess he's
are
not
only
gonna have
dangerous
fluffy
if that
antenna.
barbed spine pierces your flesh. That's why Mark has a simple way of making stingrays harmless.
Okay. Maybe I can make the wings out of the velvet then. Because I can't make them out of the faux fur. Because I thought I'd be able to. But, I can't fucking see what I'm doing. Which I didn't think about.
The reason we're doing it is just to make sure that nobody accidentally gets stung.
Oh, I did a magic ring instead of a slip knot. Okay.
Here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, after we clip the stingers actually can grow back, so they do have the potential to grow back a stinger with venom. What we do is we'll go through every 3 months and gather up all of the animals to make sure that they don't have their stingers on them. Anything that has grown back, we'll reclip it.
This venomous barb can sometimes be driven in so deep that it punctures your heart. But back in 1978, it was a very different poison puncture wound that hit the headlines.
What?
The city of London was home to Bulgarian dissident Georgy Markov. As an outspoken protester against the communist regime in his homeland, he probably felt safe in the streets of England. But his personal Cold War was about to heat up, thanks to events that could have come straight from the pages of a spy novel. One day, when Markov was waiting at a bus stop, he failed to notice the man carrying an umbrella behind him. Suddenly, he felt a stinging pain on the back of his right thigh. It's thought that an agent of the Bulgarian state security had stabbed Markov with a most unusual umbrella. Markov never knew that his mortal illness was actually caused by the puncture wound. It was only after the autopsy that doctors discovered that the umbrella had inserted a tiny poison pellet into Markov's leg.
That's fucking
the
crazy.
pellet contained ricin, a poison 100 times as deadly as cobra venom, derived from the beans of the castor oil plant.
Oh, castor oil is good for your hair.
Stingray venom may not be as lethal as the poisoned pellets of the Cold War, but you still have to be careful of that sting in their tail. Treat the animal with respect, and this is one venomous creature that won't bite the hand that feeds it. When early European explorers traveled to faraway lands, they discovered new worlds with strange animals. But no animal was as bizarre as the creature that's coming in at number 9 in our venomous countdown.
Oof.
This animal lays eggs like a hen, and yet it's covered with fur like a cat.
Oh, it's a platypus.
It's got the tail of a beaver.
Oh, like, shit. What?
And the webbed feet of a swan. Add the bill of a duck, and you get the furry collection of animal leftovers called the platypus.
A platypus.
According to Aboriginal legend, the first platypus was born after a young female duck mated with a lonely and persuasive water rat. But the resulting creature has one feature that's not found in birds or mammals. The male platypus has a sharp spur on his hind leg that injects venom from a gland in his thigh. This venom can kill a dog and leave a human in agony. But since the venom is only secreted by mature males, especially around the breeding season, the main target is usually other males looking to fight for a territory.
1, 2, 3, 4. No,
But the platypus wasn't the only discovery of the early explorers to be greeted with suspicion. When European sailors returned home from South America with a strange plant related to the deadly nightshade family, most people assumed that its bright red fruit would be poisonous. In America, it wasn't until 1830 that a Colonel Robert Johnson proved them wrong. The story goes that when he announced he'd eat a basket of the deadly fruit, a crowd of 2,000 watched him commit public suicide. But as the band played a somber tune, he didn't die. In fact, the fruit was delicious, and he became rich selling tomatoes.
Oh. Oh, that's right.
Today, the average American gets through more than 10 kilograms of tomatoes each year. But while the image of the tomato has changed, the platypus is still one of the world's strangest animals. However, it could have been made even stranger if that lonely duck of Aboriginal legend had mated with the next contender in the countdown.
It looks like an amogus.
We've seen strange
Amogus
spurs and sweeping stings. But when we milk venom for all it's worth, you'll be left gasping for breath as we deliver the kiss of death. That's next on The Most Extreme. To round up number 8 in our countdown of extreme venom, mosey on down to see Chris Ryman on his ranch in Comfort, Texas. But it pays to be careful, for his little doggies are real monsters.
Gila monsters!
Chris Ryman runs the Gila Ranch, which is home to about 100 head of Gila. He believes that his lizards don't deserve their reputation as monsters.
When they're encountered, they tend to be a little aggressive. They open their mouth and display and hiss, and I think it's just ignorance myself. They're a fabulous creature, I think. I wouldn't call them a monster.
The Gila gets its bad reputation because its bite really is worse than its bark. This monster is number 8 in the countdown because it's only one of 2 venomous lizards in the world. It uses a deadly dribble for self-defense. If you're bitten by a Gila, it clamps on like a vice grip as its razor-sharp teeth slice open your flesh. And then, modified salivary glands produce venom that dribbles down the teeth and deep into the wound. The more they chew, the more venomous saliva they deliver, with terrifying
There's some snakes
results.
like that too.
When I
like
was
the hog
bit,
nose.
The first few minutes I felt nausea, a little localized pain from the bite. Then slowly I had a lymph node that was throbbing a little bit. My hand was throbbing. Then my lower back started to hurt. And then it went to my chest, and that's when I became worried. So I went to the hospital. I was vomiting for cold sweats and a real erratic heartbeat.
Holy
Thanks
shit.
to quick medical treatment, Chris survived this venomous encounter and has no hard feelings.
The Gila's venom was evolved for a defensive mechanism for the lizard to to keep it safe from predators and stuff. Once a predator gets bit, they don't want to get bit again, as do I.
It's ironic, then, that the unforgettable bite of a Gila monster may one day actually help people remember. Scientists have analyzed Gila venom and created an experimental drug that works in the human brain.
Why?
It seems there's a chemical in Gila spit that acts on those receptor pathways in the brain that affect memory. Chemical companies are hoping that their new drug could help reduce the symptoms of memory loss for the 4 million sufferers of Alzheimer's disease in America alone.
9. That's supposed to be his wing. That looks really tiny.
It seems that memories are made up of many things.
This is his little wing. I kind of want to see if I
monster's
can do this in the faux fur, because I started doing the faux fur, but I got confused. But now I see, and it's not that hard. But hold on, let's see.
And
Okay.
mixed up mammals.
And then it says.
But the tale of terror continues, because it's no walk in the park when
Zoom
number
crosshair
7
on the top of
could
the
send
wing.
you straight to heaven. That's next on the most extreme. The deadly bees have buzzed their way into number 7 in the countdown because for some people, these tiny insects really are the most deadly animal in the world, even though each one only carries less than half a milligram of venom.
The fact that
When
we
you're
can be
stung by
allergic
a
to
bee,
bees is kind of
venom
crazy.
is pumped through the barbed sting into the skin, where the chemical melatonin gets to work on the nerve endings of pain receptors, causing a brief burst of agony. But for one person in 1,000, bee venom causes an allergic reaction not just in the skin, but in other parts of the body, including the vital organs. If left
That was
untreated,
true. Oh my
the
God.
patient can die of anaphylactic shock in less than 5 minutes. No wonder most people dealing with bees on a daily basis wear protective clothing. But some bee people in Waldorf, Maryland, take their clothes off. Here,
Why?
people actually want to be stung for the good
Why?
of their health.
Okay, you ready? Go for it.
This is bee venom therapy in action. The theory is that in addition to causing pain, the bee sting also heals.
Where does this theory come from?
Bee venom therapy has changed the life of Pat Wagner. In 1992, multiple sclerosis had reduced her to what she called a bedridden breathing corpse. Now, more than 45,000 stings later, she's able to walk again and is leading a normal life. Researchers believe
This
that the
seems too
chemical
small.
melatonin is a powerful anti-inflammatory substance, thought to be 100 times more potent than hydrocortisone. That's why
This seems too
apitherapy is said to
small.
wake the body up. Pat is now known as the Bee Lady and happily shares her therapy with people from all over the world.
You know, since I had no movement when I came in, it's a lot.
I don't know what to do.
I've seen so many
I'm just
miracles,
frustrated and angry,
absolute
and nothing wants to work for me,
Apitherapy is
and I'm mad.
It may sound too good to be true, but the next contender may also save people's lives with the sting in its tail.
Because this seems too small, but I couldn't really see the faux fur, so I don't know if I should try to do it with the faux fur again and just hope for the best. A posture check and a hydrate? Okay. I'll sit up straight. I'm gonna lean back
In
a little
California's
bit. 'Cause my back
Palm
hurts.
Desert, there are 2 ways to find the next contender in the countdown. You can poke around under rocks and hope you get lucky.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna think it's poppy time. So let me go do poppy time. And I will BRB. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, my dog was eating birdseed. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he was eating birdseed. So, I'm back now. Oop, getting caught up on some chords here. I still don't know what to do. I may try, okay. Because I feel like this wing is too small for our boy. Like, this is puny. Pass me the bird. No, don't eat birdseed. I'm gonna see if I can make one with the faux fur yarn. And then, I don't know, we'll go from there, I guess. I really am not sure. I'm getting frustrated, and so it's causing me to, like, make mistakes or whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off and fasten it off just in case, like, faux fur doesn't work. But I bought the faux fur for this project specifically, so I'm really frustrated that it's not working. So, you know. Anyway, let's push play on this. Oh, wrong button.
Or you can wait till nightfall and go hunting with an ultraviolet lamp. Nobody's sure why the scorpion glows under ultraviolet light.
No.
But everybody knows why it's number
scorpions.
6 in the countdown. In 1999, more than
Hey, that's when I was
13,000
born.
Americans were stung by scorpions.
That's insane.
Few were fatal thanks to good medical care. But in Mexico, scorpions are estimated to
there
kill
2?
1,000 people a year.
Right.
So how would you like to be locked in a box with nearly 3,500 scorpions?
Oh, it's starting to split. Why is it doing that? Ooh.
Meet Kanchana Ketkiao from Thailand. She
I don't
spent
want it
a
to do
world
that.
record 32 days inside a glass cage with 3,400 venomous scorpions.
Why?
She was stung 9 times, but said the venom had little effect on her because she developed immunity during 7 years of performing with the lethal creatures.
Insane.
But there may be another reason why scorpion attacks are not always fatal. Recent research suggests that the scorpion can set its venom on stun or kill. Instead of wasting venom on self-defense, it uses a pre-venom that causes extreme pain. It's a clever strategy because the deadly true venom is a complex cocktail of proteins that's expensive to make. But that complex cocktail may also contain one protein that could be a cure for cancer.
What?
In America alone, more than 24,000 people each year are diagnosed with gliomas. This is a form of brain cancer that's almost always fatal, according to University of Alabama researcher Harold Sontheimer.
The average survival is on the order of 6 to 8 months. In some cases more rapidly, in some cases patients survive 5 years. But it is a rapidly progressing cancer for which there's currently no effective treatment options available.
Sontheimer's team has manufactured the part of scorpion venom that seeks out brain cancer cells and cripples them without harming normal tissues.
That's crazy.
It just goes to show that one man's poison is another man's cure for cancer.
That's really cool.
We've seen there's a twist to the scorpion's deadly two-step. But coming up, there's something very fishy about the living dead. Get ready for a serving of venom that's not to be sneezed at. That's next on The Most Extreme. To find the next contender in our venomous countdown, take a trip to an idyllic tropical island in the Pacific.
walk next to a coral reef, and you could think you're in paradise. And then suddenly, your next step could be your last.
2.
These waters are home to the world's most venomous fish, the stonefish.
3.
So when it's feeding time at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California, Christine Light keeps well clear of the animal that's lurking at number 5 in the countdown.
Go 1.
The reason
2,
the stonefish is so dangerous
4.
is that it looks like a stone.
No way. Go 1.
Stonefish actually use their venom as a defense mechanism. They don't use it as a feeding mechanism. They are actually considered ambush predators. What they'll do is they'll hide and they will wait for either a fish or a crustacean, and then they will just grab them with their mouth.
3.
So what makes this poisonous pet rock so dangerous to humans?
5.
They have anywhere from 12 to 14 dorsal spines, and the spines are covered in skin, a thick skin layer. And when they're just sitting on the bottom, their dorsal spines will be lying flat against their body. But if they are provoked, the dorsal spines will come up, and the skin actually will pull away from the dorsal spines, and there are venomous glands at the bottom of the dorsal spines. So when it penetrates someone's foot or a limb, the pressure will cause the venom to shoot up through the dorsal spine into the person or fish that they're attacking.
Sharing a meal with a fish can be deadly.
Okay.
But then for some people, that's part of the attraction. At Manhattan's Nippon restaurant, they serve not stonefish, but pufferfish.
1.
Gourmets come to try a
2,
dish called fugu,
3.
a delicacy that, if not properly prepared, means instant death because it contains a poison that's 275 times deadlier than cyanide. It's concentrated in the ovaries, intestines, and liver of the fish, which all have to be carefully removed because the lethal dose would fit on a pinhead.
3.
The active ingredient is tetrodotoxin, a chemical that attacks the nervous system, paralyzing the muscles of the body. Sometimes it can cause a coma almost indistinguishable from death. And that's why some researchers believed that tetrodotoxin could also be used to create the living dead.
4.
On the island nation of Haiti, tetrodotoxin could play a part in the infamous powers of the voodoo sorcerer. Here, it's believed that people can be brought back from the grave as zombies.
6.
Researchers have suggested this is because sorcerers grind up pufferfish as part of their magic powder. So in 1962, when a victim was rushed to the hospital unable to breathe, even doctors were fooled and signed the man's death certificate.
10.
And yet, 20 years later, the same man can visit the cemetery to find his own grave. This is Clervius Narcisse, who believes he emerged from this grave as a zombie slave.
Bro?
But step on a stonefish, and you're in for an even bigger surprise. This ugly monster may pack a powerful punch, but it's no match for our next contender, a tiny terror with a really mean mouth.
Me?
Okay, so our next contender couldn't really sink a ship. But these tranquil waters are home to a killer with a bite that packs enough venom to kill 10 people. It's stealthy, shy,
and the size of a golf ball. At number 4 in the countdown of most extreme venom is the blue-ringed octopus.
Damn, that's not me.
It's not hard to see how it got its name. But those infamous blue rings only really light up as a warning when the animal feels threatened.
6.
Unfortunately, some people are attracted to the pretty colors and pick up the cute little octopus. Big mistake. The bite is so small that many victims don't even realize they've been wounded, let alone injected with a neurotoxin 10,000 times more deadly than cyanide. It's a venom that's really good at paralyzing pesky
9.
humans and potential prey.
Okay, so this is...
The venom is part of the
Wing.
octopus's spit
We're gonna
and
see
is
how this
produced
works.
by 2 glands, each as big as its brain. It hunts either by spitting out a cloud of the toxic
then
saliva,
we just go
or
around
by
the top.
jumping its prey and biting through a chink in the
I'll
crab's
have to find a
armored
way
shell.
to... what? You can't
But
see that.
strangely enough, the octopus doesn't make its own venom. Dense colonies of bacteria actually produce the deadly neurotoxins. They live safely tucked away in the octopus's salivary glands. But
Oh my
then
God.
harmful bacteria can live in all kinds of places, including our kitchens.
Yeah.
That's because some kitchens can be breeding grounds of the bad bugs that cause food poisoning. This year, there's a 1 in 4 chance that you'll become sick thanks to bacteria like Salmonella or Listeria. And food poisoning
Oh shit,
is likely
Listeria
to
is
kill
like running rampant
9,000
right now.
Americans this year. That's why you don't want to cook with poor personal hygiene or a dirty kitchen. Since food poisoning bacteria are often present on raw foods of all kinds, the last thing you want is to have the bacteria being transferred onto the cooked food on your plate. Bacteria can be bad news, especially in your own home. Experts say that 80% of food poisoning happens at home, largely because people don't wash their hands before cooking or clean kitchen surfaces after cutting raw food. In
That's
fact,
insane.
your kitchen cutting board could contain more germs than your toilet seat.
What? Who's not fucking cleaning their kitchen that much? That it gets that bad.
But the blue-ringed octopus has no problem with food poisoning bacteria. After all, it poisons its food deliberately, thanks to the toxic bacteria in its spit.
I keep dropping it. Okay.
We've seen a deadly blue ring.
This is what the wing looks like with the fur. I may have to like
and a glow bug
trim
with a
it or
sting.
something, but it's much bigger.
We'll discover a killer who's
I don't know
really
if it
come
looks
out of
better
his shell.
though. Like, hold on, let me see.
That's
It kind of
next
just looks
on
like
the
a blob to me. I may have to like trim in between here, if anything, so that there's some dimension. But I don't know. I just feel like that looks so much better. You know, big ass wing for the Mothman. Am I crazy? I don't. You can't see it because it's just fluff.
The slowest
Hold on.
assassin in the world lives inside this shell. It may look harmless, but the cone snail can kill as quick as lightning. The trouble is, when it moves at top
okay, let me
speed,
see.
the only thing it
I'm
can
gonna
hope
also
to catch would
finish
be a
off
rock.
this one. I'm not gonna
That's
be able
why
to
it's
sew
had to
this on
develop
with
a
this
more
yarn, but
subtle
I'm gonna
hunting technique.
fasten it off anyway.
It's armed with a hypodermic needle full of venom.
And then I'm gonna
It only
see if
gets
I can
one
like
chance to instantly paralyze its prey.
trim this or something. I don't know if this is gonna work the way I think it will. just want to trim some of the fluff away. Just a little bit, because I still want it to be fluffy, but I want you to be able to see what's going on.
The cone snail just moves too slowly to get another chance to attack and swallow its prey. And the venom works just as well on humans. At least 30 people have been killed by the so-called cigarette snails. That's because when you were stung, you had enough time to smoke a cigarette before you dropped dead.
I don't know if this is helping at all.
So
I
what's
don't even
in
know if I'm
cone
trimming
snail
anything
venom
away.
that makes it so deadly? University of Utah biologist Baldemaro Oliveira tried to find out.
What we discovered was something that was far more complex, that when they inject their venoms, they're not just injecting a few toxins that can kill people. They're injecting what turns out to be a very complicated cocktail of essentially perhaps 50 or 100 different components, and each of these components is like a drug. Cone snail venoms potently change the way the nervous system acts. So components of these venoms are among the most effective painkillers and drugs against epilepsy and even against mental illness that we've ever seen.
That's crazy.
Clinical trials have found a cone snail painkiller is perhaps 1,000 times more effective than morphine, without the
That's
nasty side
insane.
effects.
Without the addiction to it, that'd be cool.
Modern day drug companies are real excited about combining drugs.
I don't know if that helped at all.
Specifically targeting drugs, but that's
I
something that
feel
cone
like
snails,
the fluffy
really,
looks better.
Evolved millions of years ago.
I feel like it does.
Since there are 500 species and 100
I
components
think anyway.
there are in principle about 50,000 different venom
Let me
components
see if I can
in the living cone snails, and we've only looked at a fraction
like
of those.
finish
And so the possibilities
this
are really
off.
much greater once more basic science is done on the different components of the cone snail venoms.
While the cone snail may one day provide a cure for human pain, this slow-motion assassin will always give
Let's see.
fish a real headache.
I don't like that the yarn like came unbraided on here. I'm gonna see if I can tuck these in, but it doesn't want to be threaded into my needle.
Sea snake venom is one of the most potent in the world. A single drop is reputed to be able to kill 3 men.
A single drop? One single drop.
That's why researchers like Dr. Brian Fry of the Australian Venom Research Unit find them so irresistible. The venom of every snake species has its own chemical formula. The more you know about the formula, the better the antidote you can make. The tricky part is getting the venom out of the snake. No wonder his first aid kit is a constant companion. Milking the snake to extract its venom is the first part of the process in creating antivenom. The aim is to use small doses of venom to get the immune system to produce antibodies. These are molecules that can knock the venom off the victim's nerve cells and hopefully save the day. But you have to get the anti-venom to the patient fast. And that's where these guys come in. Miami, Florida is home to the world's only emergency anti-venom response unit. Captain Al Cruz and Ernie Gilson are the men of Venom 1.
Venom 1 at Dade County. Shows responding to Homestead Hospital. Reference Cobra Bite. QSL.
Cobra Bite.
Run by the Miami-Dade Fire Department, Venom 1 provides a lifeline for snakebite victims.
I can't
Established
fucking...
in 1998, they now have the most extensive anti-venom collection in the U.S., covering 95% of the world's venomous snakes, as Captain Al Cruz explains.
People begin or want to own venomous snakes. The key is you need to understand that snake's behavior, because it's not a matter of if you're going to get bit, it's a matter of when. We have an assortment of anti-venoms that we call the lifeline for people not only locally here but also nationally. And sometimes you might only need 1 vial of anti-venom, yet King Cobra you may need 40 vials.
Holy shit.
What makes Venom 1 unique and the reason it works so well is that you call one number and we respond. Plus we've handled over 500 bites with not a single fatality in the last 4 years.
The snake may have a truly venomous reputation, but if Adam and Eve had met our final contender, they'd never have gotten out of Eden alive. We've
What does it have to
seen
do with
the
Adam and
9
Eve?
contenders. They're the best of the best. Only one animal is a more extreme venom-making machine. It's number 1, and it's coming up
Oh,
next
is it?
on the
Well, the
most
Komodo... Does the Komodo dragon
extreme.
have venom? I feel like maybe it's the Komodo dragon. It's either that or like one of those really deadly snakes. I'm just gonna try to finish this wing off to see how it looks.
I didn't know then they could put beauty and poison so cleverly together in one package.
It's no laughing matter when a venomous animal clears some of the best beaches in Australia. For 7 of the hottest months of every year, an invisible killer makes the sea a deadly playground. The only safe place to swim is within the shelter of a fine mesh net.
Wow.
Venture outside the net, and you're playing Russian roulette with the animal with the most extreme venom in the countdown.
Oh, is it that tiny little blue thing that looks like porcelain? Oh, it's a
box
jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
Not even the man-o-war. I'm sorry, you guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to thread my needle.
There are good reasons why this deadly jelly is number 1 in the countdown, according to marine ecologist Jamie Seymour.
These animals are the most venomous animals in the world. There is absolutely no doubt about that at all. I mean, there have been recorded incidences where people have had 6 or 7 feet worth of tentacle on their body and it's killed them. Now, if you do the sums,
That's a lot of
full-grown
tentacle.
animal has 15 tentacles on each corner, total of 60 tentacles, and each one of those tentacles is probably 7, 8 feet long. One animal has the potential to kill 60 people, and it can do it within minutes.
When an unsuspecting victim blunders into the almost invisible jellyfish, the agony is instant. People say it's like being branded with red-hot irons, and
Holy
that's
shit.
just what the scars look like.
Ouch.
The jellyfish is number 1 in the countdown because those trailing tentacles are covered in 4,000 million stinging cells. At the slightest
4,000
touch,
million?
the cells blast a microscopic harpoon through your skin to inject its incredibly powerful neurotoxin. But the jellyfish doesn't hunt humans. It has smaller fish to fry. Its venom is so extreme because it has to paralyze fish fast before their struggles snap the tentacles. Paralyzing neurotoxins may be bad news for fish, but it's booming business for Dr. David Anron at Spalding Cosmetic Surgery and Dermatology
Okay,
in
here's the
Beverly
wing.
Hills.
Finished. I would like to cut more of the fur off so you can see, but
Forehead, frown, and then right on the side of my eyes, I've got a lot of this squinting.
Okay, great. So let's take a look. Go ahead and raise your eyebrows. Yeah. And
let
frown.
me see if I can trim it a little
Nice big
bit
smile.
to give it to some shape.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree. I think Botox would be great for you.
Of course you're gonna say that.
Botox is actually a purified form of the bacterial neurotoxin responsible for the most deadly food poisoning in the world. Just like the venom of a jellyfish, Botox paralyzes the muscles that cause wrinkles by preventing the nerves from firing. Eventually, the nerve endings regenerate, so further injections are required to keep the wrinkles at bay. With more than 1.6 million procedures carried out every year, Botox is the fastest growing cosmetic procedure in America today.
So you have friends who have had this done?
Yeah.
Yeah?
My mother's had it done, and the results were great. That's
Yeah.
why I decided to do it.
Well, I'd say virtually everybody loves Botox. Botox is great.
Is it
Back
great?
in Australia, no one thinks boxed jellyfish are great, especially macho male Aussie lifeguards. Anybody who enters the water here needs something to protect themselves from the jellyfish's deadly tentacles. It has to be lightweight, yet thick enough to prevent the millions of stinging cells from penetrating the skin. The solution is pantyhose.
Amazing.
Only the #1 animal in the countdown could turn a macho Aussie male into a crossdresser.
Oh my god! I forget this was filmed in the early 2000s. Okay. I like this wing better than this one. I don't care. It's like kind of huge, but I kind of like it. You know, I think that fits. Like, this Mothman should be fluffy.
That's why, when it comes to venom,
You
the
know?
boxed jellyfish really
You
is
know, I'm not crazy.
the most extreme.
I'm not crazy. Fluffy. Yeah, look how fluffy it is. I mean, I'm crazy, but not for this reason. This is normal. And now he's covered in fluff. God damn it. Bam bam.
Find out what it takes to be a master of disguise.
Hi,
And if
Sin.
we can compete with nature's real life
Forgot Hellhound
transformers.
calls me out for looking.
We're counting down the top 10 most extreme
Thank you for
disguises in
lurking.
the animal kingdom and comparing them with our own attempts at
This fluff is
stunning
gonna be
camouflage.
everywhere.
You just won't believe your eyes when you see what happens
Ah,
when disguise
this fluff is gonna
is
haunt
taken
me.
to the
I
most
can feel it.
extreme.
Earth is a planet of extremes. Extreme places
Dude, it is.
and extreme animals. But some animals are more extreme than others.
Dude. It's gonna be like glitter.
As we count down to find the most unusual,
I know it's going to be in my hair because my hair is curly.
the most
So, I can't avoid it not being in my... it's already in there. It's ingraining itself in the fibers, in the DNA of my hair right now.
Our search for the most
It's gonna be
extreme
there
disguises on
forever.
the planet begins in
I
one
will
of the
never
most
be rid of the
extreme
fluff.
environments.
Okay, we're gonna make the other wing. I still don't know what to do for the antenna because I'm frustrated. I would like the antenna to be fluffy, but the yarn doesn't want to work with me, so. Yeah, it's never leaving. It's here forever.
The snow leopard loves the high life. It can be found at over 16,000 feet.
I'm gonna trim my hair in a year, and I'm gonna be like, what is that doing in there? Oh, it's all over my book. No. Oh, I just look at my book and it's covered in tiny itty bitty little fibers. Dude. At this point, the fluff is in my fucking bloodstream, like a microplastic.
On the trails of the Himalayas, leopard skin is the most fashionable form of disguise. But on the catwalks of Paris, fake furs are all about getting noticed.
But that's not leopard print. That's leopard print.
Camouflage into fashion
behind my monitor. Oh god. Well, I have a fan above my monitor that's blowing it this way, so hopefully not.
The answer lies in its incredible fur.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Take away those spots, and you're left with the easily recognizable.
Yeah, it's gonna be stuck in the fan. Oh no, it's gonna get on my grandpa's bald head, and he's gonna get hair. He's gonna have hair again. He's gonna be mad.
You blend in perfectly. The trouble is, the snow leopard's environment isn't all one color, and that's why the leopard has its spots. They disrupt the outline of the leopard, making it blend into the background.
Oh god.
But spots make one man really stand out from the crowd. Tom Leopard is completely covered in leopard spot tattoos.
Why?
For the past 15 years, Tom's been the only leopard living wild in Scotland. This isn't part of a disguise. It's a lifestyle choice.
Man, what kind of fucking drugs are you on?
Despite his distinct lack of fur, he enjoys a rugged, reclusive lifestyle, just like a real leopard.
Is he naked? I hope not.
A weekly hunt to the shop provides him with his favorite meal and all the supplies any leopard would ever need. Unfortunately, there are very few shops in the Himalayas, so this leopard will never find cans of baked varal. To catch these extremely athletic mountain sheep, the snow leopard has to rely on its excellent disguise and feline cunning. All it takes is one unsuspecting varal to step into pouncing range. The snow leopard is the top predator in the Himalayan death zone.
Snow leopard ASMR?
And the smell of blood destroy the leopard's careful camouflage, so it eats quickly. The fresh kill is starting to attract unwanted attention for a creature that loves being invisible.
Oh, it's so cute. I love snow leopards. We have snow leopards at our zoo, and we've had a very successful breeding program with them, and so we're like helping the population, and it's really cool.
Number 9.
Disguising the human voice can be tricky. Even our most famous ventriloquist can come across a little wooden.
New picture. Well, I congratulate you on your courage. I disagree with you, Charlie. For I can say with complete confidence that our new picture, well, it will sell itself. Down the river.
Oh, my phone is here.
It's
It's
a
like, what the
picture
hell
with
is
plenty
that?
of B.O. And he
My
doesn't
phone.
mean box office.
But number 9 in the countdown is no dummy. It's the best impersonator in the Australian rainforest. Meet the superb lyrebird.
The what?
Nothing is better at disguising its voice than a male lyrebird who's looking for a mate. He builds himself a stage and then
A
starts
male
his
lyrebird,
crazy karaoke.
bro. All men do is lie.
His favorite hits include adaptations of over 20 different bird calls.
That's a kookaburra.
He's so good, even the real kookaburras are fooled. But the lyrebird's repertoire also includes cameras.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
now, a camera with a motor drive.
Oh, that's
And,
cool.
you guessed it, a car alarm. And now the sounds of a chainsaw.
That's so cool. What the fuck? I mean, it's kind of sad, but it's also really cool.
The reason for this incredible mimicry is that the male with the most complex love song will attract the most females. But far from the forests of Australia, there is one man with a voice as versatile as a lyrebird. A man who boasts a collection of over 10,000 vocalizations. Michael Winslow is celebrated for his side-splitting sound effects.
Start it up. Nancy, are you ready?
Although Winslow and the lyrebird both practiced for years to perfect the vocalization, it's the lyrebird that definitely picks up the most chicks.
Wow! He just said that man gets no bitches.
We've seen through the disguises of our first two contenders. But coming up are crafty cross-dressers and bare-faced liars when we look behind the mask and reveal the ugly truth. Coming up next on Animal Planet's The Most. Number 8.
Out in the Arctic Circle, a good disguise is the difference between life and death. Blowing in to number 8 in the countdown is the Arctic fox.
Aw.
Its cunning costume is a real lifesaver, keeping it toasty warm even when temperatures fall to 110 degrees below zero.
There's no way that's a real
But
measurement.
the real key to staying alive out here is the color of its coat. The white camouflage increases the fox's chances of a successful hunt and decreases the chances of it becoming the hunted. In winter, a hungry polar bear would kill and eat the Arctic fox. So the fox has to stay far enough away to keep out of trouble, and yet close enough to be able to clean up the leftovers from the polar bear's kill. In this frozen land, being able to disguise yourself as a snowdrift is a huge advantage when following in the footsteps of a polar bear. But most of us would need more than just camouflage if we met a hungry bear of any kind.
What the fuck? Why is that man dressed up like a bear?
Are you hot? Can I get you a drink? Yeah, okay. Let's get you a drink.
This is no ordinary bear.
It's been constructed by Robert Devine and his team from Anatomorphic Special Effects.
What is
who
he doing?
disguise humans
Why?
for Hollywood movies and TV commercials.
Oh.
But
I was
it
like,
takes
what?
more
Man's
than
watched
just
Brother
faux
Bear and
rubber,
went, I want to
latex,
do that.
fiberglass, and fur to make a good disguise, as Robert explains.
To get all the bells and whistles running at the same time, there's a suit performer that is required, and there are 5 radio performers to get all of the components running. We metamorphosize people. It's like magic. It's a transformation to build these bears out of people. It's really a wild way to make a living, if you ask me.
Back in the Arctic, there's been more than one transformation.
Oh.
The snow has melted. The fox has a new family. And a new fur coat. The white winter weight coat disappeared when the fox molted, thanks to hormonal changes in response to the longer hours of daylight. Now the whole family wears their lightweight summer coats, and it's no coincidence that their new colors are great camouflage. It's this coat of many colors that lets the crafty Arctic fox sneak in to number 8 in the countdown.
9. And then I just go all the way around.
So far, we've been tricked by a turncoat.
Potentially.
Serenaded by
There we
a
go.
sneak. And stuck between a rock and a hard spot. But coming up, we lift the lid on nature's master of camouflage. That's next on Animal Planets, the most
extreme.
Number 7.
Ooh, my hands are starting to hurt.
Sometimes when you're looking for contenders in our countdown of extreme disguises, you have to get down and dirty. On the
Strange.
Pacific island of Vanuatu, disguise is a messy business when men prepare to glorify the power of the animal that's number 7 in the countdown.
The zebra.
This animal-inspired imitation is part of a dance that tells how all the fishes in the sea were once saved from a very hungry shark, thanks to the intervention of our next contender.
Is it a zebra? Oh no, it's a
Sea
snake. Oh, how cool!
The black and white stripes of the sea snake are
And now it looks like a
certainly
blob again,
distinctive.
but we've got both
And yet
wings.
they can also play clever tricks if you know how to shake your tail.
I will cut that later.
By weaving through the water,
okay.
the high contrast
Now I just gotta
tail
figure out what to do with the
generates an
antenna,
optical
because I don't know
illusion,
if I'm not going to be
impression
able
that
to
the
do
snake
it
is
in the
moving
faux
in the
fur, because I will
opposite
not be able to see what the
direction
fuck
to
I'm
where it's
doing.
heading.
And
means
I don't think
a
I'll really be
hungry
able to
predator may
feel
be
what the fuck I'm
tempted to
doing. I
attack the
tried it,
snake's
and I
rear
got
end.
frustrated, so
This
let's
gives the
see.
snake the
Let me
option
think.
to flee with only
This
damage
doesn't
to its
want
tail,
to do
or
magic
to
circle
turn and
things.
fight back.
Like, at all. Which is frustrating.
There are very few animals in the sea brave enough to take on a sea snake. This species is related to the cobra and has teeth that can inject particularly powerful nerve toxins.
I'll try it. I'll try it one more time.
But there is one fish that's capitalized on the snake's bold designs and natural warning system. Meet the banded snake eel, a fish disguised as a snake. By looking and moving like a snake, this eel uses false advertising to keep predators at bay.
False
It's
advertising.
a remarkably effective disguise, especially for an eel whose mark is worse than its bite. But sea snakes aren't the only ones left seeing double. We've all been fooled by famous mimics. Although Adolf Hitler was all
I'm
over
sorry?
Europe during World War II,
some historians claim that it wasn't always the Fuhrer. It's thought that many world leaders employed body doubles as a decoy. Even today, some people can make a living as a look-alike.
What?
Morning. How are you?
Brent Mendenhall ran a construction business in Missouri until one day...
They say everyone has a face double or a twin. It's just that mine is a politician who some people say is the most powerful man on earth.
Brent now earns a living by impersonating George W. Bush.
He looks just fucking like him. What the hell?
The first time I saw a picture of George W. Bush was in Time magazine.
Well, now he doesn't look that much like him.
And yes, I was very surprised when I saw his picture how much we looked alike. I almost thought it was a picture of myself in the magazine.
That means he looks like George W. Sr., I think.
I pay parking tickets, I do pay taxes, and very few people give me a free meal or anything like that. Probably the best perk of the job.
No, yeah, this
is
show's
to
wild.
meet a cross-section of Americans all across the country as I work.
This show is fucking wild.
Nice to see you too. You look a lot like him.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
You look more presidential, actually.
He looks pretty red.
Oh!
He's a little thinner. I can tell he's thinner.
So from there, I thought, is it Bush? Yeah, we're surprised.
You might want to ask just which places.
Oh well, maybe so, but no, I'm happy where I'm at. Just being a Midwesterner.
Oh, I'm pulling the wrong string. Okay.
While the sea snake also manages to stand out from the crowd, our next contender came up with camouflage long before the military.
I think most animals came up with camouflage long before the military, but okay.
Number 6.
Today, every soldier knows how to use camouflage to hide from enemy eyes.
Do they?
But our next contender's been practicing this branch of disguise for longer than any army. Down on the sea floor, you'll find a veteran campaigner of camouflage. Hiding away at number 6 in the countdown is the spider crab.
Ew.
This crustacean keeps its movements classified as it hides under its homemade canopy. So
I
it's
wonder
no
if I can
wonder that
just...
it's commonly called
No,
the
probably
camouflage
not.
crab.
Well, that's not what I wanted to do either. Okay, well...
Armed with pincers,
That's
it trims pieces of plant.
the
and then
opposite of what I
fastens
wanted
them
to do.
Tiny hairs on its legs and back.
This yarn may just suck.
It's a
I think this
cutting
yarn just
system
sucks.
That works more like Velcro than glue. The chewed ends of the
Because I
seaweed
shouldn't be
stick
able
onto
to
the
do that.
hook-like body hairs.
I shouldn't be able to just rip this apart like that.
But what makes the crab
Oh, that's
really
frustrating.
extreme is that it changes cover when it changes environment.
Well, I guess he just has to have regular antennas then. So that kind of sucks. Move this yarn out the way. Sit behind me. Bring back the big boy. Ouch. My pound of yarn.
The crab uses its disguise to keep out of sight of its enemies. It's a clever strategy, and yet only 100 years ago, military strategists could have learned a lot from the camouflage crab. Modern soldiers select their camouflage to fit in with specific landscapes, just like the crab. And these designs disguise both people and their military vehicles.
I'm trying to
But
make
what's
the
really
book not take up as much
is just
room
how
on the
long it took
screen.
for military camouflage to really take off.
But everything right now is taking up room on the screen because I have a
Before
pound of
World War
yarn on
I,
here.
Military uniforms were
okay.
bright and colorful. On a modern battlefield, it would be like wearing a brightly painted bullseye. Back then, colorful uniforms didn't matter because the weapons they used were wildly inaccurate.
That's fine. Whatever.
Why wear camouflage and try to hide if you couldn't hit anything unless it was standing right in front of you?
Me when I play FPS games, and even then I miss.
But even today's most elaborately disguised soldier is no
What am I
match
doing?
for this craft. After all, what commando can eat his own camouflage when his rations run low?
I mean, you
The
can do
camouflage
that.
grab may be cunning, but it's still only number 6 in the countdown. Because coming up, we rustle up some even more extreme disguises.
All right, hold it right there. You're covered. And don't make any fast moves, especially toward that television dial.
That's next on Animal Planet's The Most Extreme.
Our countdown's heading out west on the trail of the most wanted disguises on the planet. That's because
Oh,
the
I have an
next
idea.
contender uses a gimmick that comes straight from a Hollywood Western.
We'll see if this works. I have an idea. Bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, bum. That horse is not happy.
Well, you've just seen a man shot out of his saddle at a full gallop. 2 men bit the dust falling from high rocks, and my horse was shot out from under me, which was a mighty close call. And yet, not one single person was hurt in all this furious violence.
Years ago in pictures, horses were tripped to make them fall. But today, horses like this one, trained by owner Hal Needham,
Oh, hi, Bernie.
respond to the pull of a rein, fall on cue. Now, if you think I was riding that falling horse, you're wrong. I was waiting safely behind this big rock when Hal Needham rolled out of sight of the camera and came out shooting. We were dressed alike, so when I ran into the bush on top of the hill, you were fooled. And this unbelievable fall, 35 feet straight down, were executed by men very much alive, who want very much to keep on living.
Our next contender also wants to keep on living.
Did you say
And
I can't
that's
believe I
why
was
it
fooled?
has a disguise that could even teach these cowboys a trick or two. Sliding in to number 5 in the countdown are the hog-nosed snakes.
Oh my god, I love them. They're so funny looking. Oh, that's what he said. Okay.
So
I
they
didn't
had
hear
to
him
come
say
up
that.
with an extreme
They are
sport to keep
venomous.
them out of
They
trouble.
just aren't venomous in the same way as other snakes are.
A little kitten can spell big trouble for a hog-nosed snake.
Metal Gear?
So
What?
the first part of its disguise
The
is to
hog-nosed
act
snake?
tough and
Yeah,
take
they
like
are.
a snake.
So, they're venomous in the same way that a Gila monster is. They have to chew on you. Their saliva is venomous, so they have to chew on you in order for the venom to do anything. Because they don't have like venom in their teeth.
The snake just doesn't play dead. It smells dead too. It emits such a foul stench that even flies are fooled. Once the danger's past, the snake returns to life. But in the past, some humans weren't so lucky.
Yeah, they can. Have you ever seen them swallow? The way they swallow is they like, their jaw like goes, and that's how they swallow. And that's how the hognose chews on you.
In the 19th century, premature burial was such a grave concern.
It's not like real
that
chewing.
alarms
It's just like,
were fitted into the
and then
coffin to be activated by the
and then you get
departed.
poisoned. And it's not like anything. It's not, the venom isn't that strong. Yeah, like a Gila monster.
Alarm patent being issued as recently as
Not like a Komodo dragon.
However, the chances of anyone
Komodo
actually
dragons have
using
teeth
the
that can
alarm
bite
are
you.
remarkably small,
Hognoses do
thanks to
not.
modern embalming techniques.
That's why they're really popular. No, that's why they're really popular as pets too, because they've got funny little noses, and if they bite you, you're fine because they can't really do anything. Also, one of the funny things, if they're flipped over pretending to be dead, if you flip them back, they'll just continue flipping back over. They're like, no, I'm dead. Stop flipping me over.
Spring in the forest. Dedicated followers of fashion know that it's
Well, yeah,
time
you
to
should be more
change
afraid of
into the new
alligators.
season's trends. That's why the caterpillar crawls into number 4 in the countdown. If it doesn't keep up with the latest woodland style, it'll become a real fashion victim. That beige suit has
Wait, what
to
the
go,
fuck did I do?
because in these forests, the critics are unforgiving.
Because they roll. Because they're not on the other side of the world.
Luckily, the caterpillar keeps its wardrobe right up to date by
In
casting
the
off
zoo?
its skin at least 4 times.
We have a Komodo dragon in our zoo. We have 2, I think, because so I have the zoo that's where I am is a breeding zoo, and so they were trying to breed them because they're endangered, but the female hated the male and kept trying to kill him, so we were never able to successfully breed them.
Because their extreme fashion sense leads to some extraordinary disguises. This caterpillar's gone for the grunge look and disguised itself as a bird dropping. The idea is to make yourself look anything but appetizing. The only trouble is that bird droppings don't move. That's why another caterpillar is dressed to kill. The South
Oh, that one looks like the
American
Pokemon.
snakehead caterpillar disguises itself as a snake, complete with antennae.
He's too
that
big for the
flicker
reptile
in and
festival.
out
Yeah,
like
you
a
can't
forked
take him to the
tongue.
reptile festival. What?
For caterpillars, disguise is all
This
about
one's the one that
pretending
looks
to
like
be
the
something you're not.
Pokemon.
Humans that do the same thing are sometimes called spies. Espionage is a shadowy world full of deception. But visit the International Spy Museum in Washington, D.C., and you can learn some tricks of the trade. Peter Ernest is the museum director and has on display
Caimans?
cleverly concealed Cold War weapons. You can see a gun
No.
disguised as a glove,
Caimans.
a cigarette case, a cigarette lighter,
C-A-I-M-A-N-S,
and even a flashlight.
I believe. Why is my nail all fucked up? God damn it.
Most
Whatever.
of those devices are defensive in nature. Let's take the lipstick
I'm
gun, for
sad,
example.
Bernie. I wasn't able to
If
make
you
the
had
antenna
lipstick
fluffy
gun right
because
now
nothing
and you
wants to
tried
work for
shoot
me.
I don't know that your chances would be very good. Frankly, it's very hard to take an object that small and hit much of anything beyond about 3 yards, 4 yards. What it did give the agent who carried it was some sort of defensive device, so that if they were in a tight spot, and perhaps by maiming or possibly killing someone, they might have a chance of escape. It
No,
gave
I do
them
not want
some
pizza.
means of affecting the situation.
Caterpillars may not carry
I have an
concealed
idea
weapons
though.
like
I think I'm
human
gonna
spies,
try to make
but
most
they
of
do
it,
have one final trick
and then
that would make even James Bond jealous.
use the velvet
Caterpillars can
or
change
the
not
fur
only their
on
clothes,
the outside.
but their bodies, thanks to the wonders of metamorphosis. As it creates its
I forgot what I was
cocoon,
doing.
the
Okay.
caterpillar
1, 2,
erases its old
3,
identity.
4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Caterpillars are number 4 in the countdown because their whole life cycle is dedicated to disguise. Even the cocoon looks like a leaf, but it's still fully
Aw.
aware of its environment.
You got more so she could have her 2 bites.
After
So she could
2
have
weeks
her
of
half a
hiding,
slice.
The caterpillar finally has a chance to leave its shadowy past behind forever.
Your mom's so funny to me. I make fun of the way your mom eats a lot, but she had 2 whole slices? Wow, I'm proud of her. I make fun of your mom a lot for the way she eats, but it's all with love. I'm not trying to be mean to your mom. It's just funny.
But you won't believe your eyes when you see the sneaky
Oh, 2 slices of a personal pan pizza? Okay.
extreme.
I don't know if I should. That's like half the personal pan. You know what? I guess that's more than I feel like I've ever heard her eat before.
The next contender in our countdown of extreme disguises could have come straight from the
It's funny how I
nightmares
do
of
it.
the
Oh,
earliest
what?
European explorers. Back then, the sea was thought to be full of strange
She's
creatures.
always
like
upset
the
with your dad.
terrifying dragons that appeared on the maps and charts of the time.
Oh, yeah.
And believe it or not, one of those sea monsters still lives off the coast of Australia. It's just that it's so well disguised that we seldom see it. Coming
It's a
in
sea
at number 3
dragon!
in the countdown is the leafy sea dragon.
Oh my god, I love
Its camouflage is so
those!
convincing that it even fools fish.
Oh, leafy sea dragons are like my favorite sea
The
creature.
sea dragon's body is designed for deception.
Their soccer teams played
Those
against each other?
long, leafy limbs have no other function apart from camouflage.
1, 2, 3,
Unlike the
4,
dragons
5,
of
6.
ancient mythology, this strange fish is no monster. It's actually a tiny cousin of the seahorse, and is a threat only to small crustaceans.
7.
Powered by transparent fins, it stealthily glides through the water. It uses its snout like a vacuum cleaner, feeding on animals that are literally sucked in by the dragon's leafy costume.
And then his team lost 0-4. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, today's and he goes, my team is gonna win, and she looked at him, and then his team lost 0-4,
But
and
as
she was like, "You
Christy
deserve that.
Forsgren
It's your
from
fault
the
they
Aquarium
lost."
of the Pacific in Long Beach, California,
That's so funny.
Explains the sea dragon's most extreme deception involves some really unusual behavior.
You okay, Poppy? Oh,
The sea
goodbye.
dragons also have an additional trick of disguise, which is
Oh,
actually
I
when
found
males
out that he's
become
been
pregnant with
eating
the
bird
embryo.
seed.
When the male sea dragon is ready to accept eggs, he throws his disguise, and his tail becomes red and swollen, which would make him more noticeable to other animals in the ocean, but also to his mates. When the eggs are embedded onto the underside of his tail, algae will grow over top of the eggs, further camouflaging him while he is pregnant.
What are you saying, huh, to?
But the sea dragon
Yeah,
isn't the
so
only
my
one
mom's
going
bird
undercover
feeder
as a woman
like
to
doesn't
protect the
hold
innocent.
the bird seed very well.
These men are
And so
dressing as
whenever they eat it,
dames
it
in
ends
the
up
name of
falling on the
law.
floor. And Poppy, at night, he's been going outside, and he's been out there for like a while. And we're like, what the fuck is he doing out there? And he's been eating, well, and so we'll be like, we'll open the door to check on him because we're like, he's been out there for a while, is he okay? And then we open the door and he's coming from the direction of the bird feeder instead of the direction of where he goes to the bathroom from. Is that I don't know. That explains why he hasn't been fucking eating,
The
though.
sea dragon's arresting behavior may be more than a
I don't know how to
lifestyle
get him to
choice,
stop.
but it's still only number 3 in our countdown of most extreme disguises.
Okay. And then I gotta do 2 rows of 12.
Number 2.
Sometimes the best way to stay out of trouble is to keep really, really still.
A box around the feeder? I don't know.
But to see the ultimate wooden performance, you just have to visit the Los Angeles Natural History Museum Insect Zoo, as curator Kelly Walker explains.
What I have here is a Vietnamese walking stick. This is one of the 1,000 different species of walking sticks in the world. Walking sticks are nocturnal, so most of the time during the day they sit very still. They try and look like a branch or a tree, so they sit on the bark and they barely move at all, if at all, to protect themselves from things like birds that might want to eat them. So they do most of their eating
The stick bug!
with the leaves that we have in here at night.
But these insects are number 2 in the countdown, because once the stick was an ant.
How?
This is actually the juvenile form of the giant prickly walking stick. But since it'll take 3 months to become giant and prickly, it has a different disguise. Ants are
Imagine being a stick
notoriously
bug.
nasty,
I like
so
the
baby walking
dancing
stick
stick bug.
takes advantage of that bad reputation by mimicking the way an ant looks and moves.
Well, I feel like it's better to get
The
picked up to be
transformation
used as a
from baby
nest
to
instead of
adult
eaten,
is
because then when the bird
extreme.
leaves again, you can just
With
leave.
its twiggy tail and leafy legs, the adult giant prickly walking stick takes on a new life as a dead branch. Back in the 50s, one man managed to transform his life even more than a walking stick. Ferdinand Waldo de Mera was an imposter who pretended to be so many people that his life story was turned into a movie.
There's some that look like orchids, yeah. I can't read what that says.
Starring Tony Curtis as the great imposter in the true story that makes fiction seem tame by comparison.
I kind of wish there was a way that I could make this but flat instead of like the way it is, so that I could put the faux fur around it.
Had never been to medical school.
What's that? Now, sir, you want me to have that tooth out, don't you? Yes, I do.
The real Demera was unmasked several times, but the great imposter just kept moving on to the next impersonation to feed his desire to become a hero.
Oh, that's its mouth. Gross.
But for the walking stick, a good disguise feeds much more than just its ego.
We've seen the 9 contenders. They're the best of the best. Only one animal is a more extreme disguising machine. It's number 1, and it's coming up next on Animal Planet's The Most. Number 1.
To find the animal that's number 1 in our countdown of extreme disguise, you have to search the bottom of the sea. These tentacles belong
You can't
to
believe.
the
Yeah,
ultimate
they
animal
impreg. Oh, so you did
transformer.
see that? Okay.
The octopus.
Transformer.
It's number 1 in the countdown.
It has to
because
be
it can
number 1,
change
bro.
shape, color,
Poppy.
and skin texture in less than a second.
He's barking.
Which is really helpful when there's a hungry shark around.
Hold on. Oh, my mom's letting him out. Never mind. Did I know?
This
Did I know
remarkable
what?
disguise is thanks to thousands of tiny pigment cells in the octopus's skin. By expanding and contracting the cells, the octopus can create the necessary colors for the complete camouflage.
Deep sea octopus can change color at the bottom of the ocean where there's no light and they're blind. That's really interesting.
The beauty of the octopus disguise is more than skin deep. If its camouflage fails, there's another countermeasure in the octopus's bag of tricks.
So no one knows how they know what color to be. Maybe they're not actually blind.
An inky smokescreen like the octopus. But professional disguise artists have other tricks that up until recently have been classified top secret.
Maybe they're not actually
Antonio
blind.
Mendez was the CIA's head of disguise, and he's the first agent to be given permission to share some of the tricks of his trade.
You have to move people clandestinely if you're going to do espionage. You don't do it from an armchair in Washington, D.C. or New York. You do it in the field. And in order to do it, you have to move people invisibly. And,
Scanners.
you do
They
it
have
with documents, and you do it with
some
disguise.
manner of
So you
photoreceptors on their arms.
change
Oh,
your-
maybe.
You try to have them blend in so they're not seen. And the difference between the real spies and those you see in the motion pictures is the real ones. You want to make them into the little gray
Antenna.
pussies, you know, really uninteresting, sometimes even ugly, so that people won't want to stare at them.
Yeah, the ultraviolet thing makes sense because I think they see an ultraviolet anyway. Okay, I have to make the other antenna and then I'm done. I don't think it'll take a whole other episode of the most extreme to do that though, so I may put on a don't know, just some music or something.
First time I did it in the field.
Because I just have to make
in
one antenna.
Karachi. We went down to the local bazaar and bought all the clothing that you would wear if you were a Pakistani, and I put all these clothes on. I rolled on the ground to soil my clothes and make sure that I was scruffy enough. And when I first went out on the street, you have this rush of adrenaline, but also you have a sense of power because, in fact, you have invisibility, you know, the cloak of invisibility, and it's an amazing feeling.
Scruffy.
There is one octopus that takes the cloak of invisibility to the extreme. Meet the mimic octopus. It's number 1 in the countdown because it can use disguise not only to look the part, it seems to be able to act the part as well. And it's got marine biologists asking questions.
It is what I called you, yes.
Is the mimic octopus really trying to swim like a flounder? And could this be an attempt to mimic the shape and color of a sea snake?
What are you doing? Those are the ones that run. They put a coconut on themselves and just start running. That's funny.
Octopus, or is it a deadly lionfish? No one knows how or why this octopus is capable of such extreme mimicry. All we can tell for certain is that when it comes to disguise, the mimic octopus really is the most extreme.
Up next on The Experience.
You
Okay,
can run,
hold on.
but you can't hide
Ah,
from...
no. What the fuck is that? Okay. I just have this to do, and it's not going to take that long. So, let's put the spooky lo-fi back on. Let's go to the live. Ooh. The spooky lo-fi. Because I don't know of what else I could watch in the meantime. Because it's not going to take that long. And so I don't want to start an episode. Thank you, Spooky Lo-Fi. One. Two. I mean, like, I could, but I don't want to, like, stop it in the middle. This is the issue, because I don't want to finish it. Because the only other thing I want to do, I want to finish this right now so I can be done with it for tonight, because I'm really frustrated still. And then I want to play Pokemon Unite, more than likely, or Overwatch or something. I want to kill people on Minecraft. I don't have Minecraft, but yeah, I want to game. But, you know. You okay? Alright. The one Chandelier army. I don't know if I should stream that or not. I was thinking maybe not, but I don't know. I do not know. Why not? I feel like I'd have to, like, end the stream and restart it so that for VOD purposes. And that sounds annoying. Like I could, but I don't know. I'm also not feeling very talkative, as has probably been noticed through this stream. But I wanted to finish making Mothman, and I figured, like, you know, we're watching the most extreme, so I don't have to be entertaining. But dog laying in my laundry. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh, my hand hurt. Oh, they have a playlist on Spotify? Hell yeah, I didn't know that. Did I do it twice already? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I gotta do it one more time. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. No. 1, 2, 3. Decrease. 1, 2, 3. Decrease. Okay. We did it. He's all, well, he's not sewn up, but he's all done. Let me put this away and move the book so that I can show y'all all the pieces. Okay, so we've got, this can go over here. Oh, there's fluff everywhere. Okay, we've got body. We've got where is it? Where's the other foot? Others. We've got feet. We've got antenna. Antenna? Antenna. Something like that. I don't know. We've got body. We've got feet. They're not gonna stay on. We've got... What is this? This is a foot. Where's the arm? Hold on. I'm missing pieces. There it is. Body. Feet. Arms. Wow. Arms. Antenna that you can't see. Antenna. And wings. Wings. I fully finished one of the wings and didn't the other. But there he is in all of his little pieces. Can you see him? Can you see him coming together as a whole man? There he is. Where's my hands? Mothman. This music seems really loud. What the fuck? There he is. Mothman. I just have to sew them together, which is going to actually be the death of me. I'm not gonna do that on stream because my sewing skills are terrible. Yeah, and then once I'm done sewing him up, I may see if I can add some faux fur to the antenna because I really wanted them to be fluffy. So I may see if I can like take this or take this and make it fluffy somehow. I don't know. But yeah, and then once I sew him together, I'll make a post about it, and then If you want him, you can buy him. He'll probably be the same price as Slenderman, which will be $18. He used to be $20, but then I was like, eh, and so now he's $18. So he'll probably also be $18. Even though he made me want to suffer 18 years in prison, we're gonna $18. So, yeah. Let's see if, let's see if there's anybody I can raid. Go to the Wade browser. The Wade Shadow Legends. Okay. We've got somebody we can wade. His name is Jueu, and he is one of my friend Mr. Browning's model. He will be one of his model siblings. That's how I found him. He's cool. He's playing Dragon Age Inquisition. I don't know anything about that game, but we'll just raid out to him. And yeah, I do have a raid message now. Before the raid message, we'll do this. I have an Etsy. If you want to look at the other little dudes I have. Because I was talking about it. I should have posted it then, but whatever. There's my Etsy. If you're at all interested, I've got dinosaurs, I've got Slenderman, I've got some coasters on there, and some lizards. But yeah, anyways, I have a raid message. I'm tired and frustrated. Thank y'all for joining me. Tal and Meatloaf Tuesday should be back this Tuesday. I apologize for missing out on that. There was a bunch of shit happened. Anyway, I don't know what else to say. Be kind and have a good night.